Satisfied clients include Florida Gulf Coast University and Pensacola State College. Call Williamson Brothers Roofing at 844-WB-BUILT. That's
844-WB-BUILT.
That's 844-WB-BUILT.
She's been shopping for months to make sure that when she walks, people are always looking at her feet. Italian, classic, modern, she had to find the perfect look. And when her friends come and visit, their gaze always goes down to admire her floors.
Get your floors noticed. GC Flooring Boutique for indoor and outdoor living. View GC Flooring's extensive stone, mosaic, vinyl, wood, and tile. Your Legno Bastone Gallery on JNC Boulevard. GCFlooringofNaples.com.
Goodbye, pests. I'll see you later. I called National Exterminators. For just $46, they get all rodents and bugs. 23946, no bug.
Call the Boas and National Exterminators at 239-46-NO-BUG or visit them online at pestcontrolmadeeasy.com for all your pest control needs. Bugs, termites, rodents, and even attic insulation. Better service, better prices, and no contracts.
Goodbye, pests. I'll see you later. I called National Exterminators. For just $46, they get all rodents and bugs. 23946, no bug.
Call the Boas and National Exterminators at 239-46-NO-BUG or visit them online at pestcontrolmadeeasy.com for all your pest control needs. Bugs, termites, rodents, and even attic insulation. Better service, better prices, and no contracts.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 6 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station. 92.5 Fox News.
I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Senate Republicans have signed their names in the ledger of history alongside Donald Trump, the big lie, and voter suppression.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer angry that Republicans blocked a bill he says counters voting laws in GOP-led states.
The most sweeping voter suppression efforts in at least 80 years.
Minority Leader Mitch McConnell calls that a lie.
What this is really about is an effort for the federal government to take over the way we conduct elections in this country.
Republicans have also been speaking out against a recent crime spike across America, but White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki says
there's been an increase in violent crime over the last 18 months. It's not just over the last few months. And actually, if you look statistically back, it's more over the last 5 years or so.
The president will lay out his plan to deal with increasing crime across the country in a speech this afternoon, rolling into what the administration believes could be a violent summer. The president's proposal is expected to include police reforms, plus ways to keep guns out of the hands of criminals.
Fox's Caroline Shively. We're learning more about Monday's shooting that left Colorado police officer Gordon Beasley dead.
Gordon was targeted because he was wearing an Arvada police uniform.
Arvada Police Chief Link Strait, another person was also killed and the gunman died in the shootout. 53% of Americans 12 and older are now fully vaccinated. Nearly 63% have had at least one dose of a COVID vaccine, though younger people are more resistant to getting a shot than older Americans. But a CDC meeting today will probe possible vaccine side effects, mostly in younger people.
Hundreds of cases of COVID-vaccinated teenagers, often male, who develop life-threatening myocarditis, an inflammation of the heart muscle, causing symptoms similar to a heart attack with chest pain and shortness of breath.
Fox's Evan Brown. America's listening to Fox News.
This update is presented by Johnston Spinal Care, the leader in spinal decompression. Find them online at 596back.com.
Wink News. Traffic.
Wednesday morning commute clear so far. 75 getting busy out toward Daniels Parkway and Alico Road. Seeing some slowdowns as well just south of Corkscrew Road in southern Lee County. And looking clear right now along Alligator Alley if you're taking an early morning ride toward the East Coast. No crashes to report out across Lee, Collier, and Charlotte counties. And if you're getting ready to head on the bridges between the Cape and Fort Myers, should only take you a couple minutes in each direction. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Well, happy Wednesday, Southwest Florida. Look for a higher chance for thunderstorms for today, with more of us seeing a chance for rain, storms, particularly for the afternoon, with temperatures back to near 91 for high. Heat index values, thanks to the humidity, will range between 97 to 103 degrees. Temperatures only falling into the middle 70s as we wake up on your Thursday morning. A high near 90 for your Thursday afternoon, with additional chances for scattered storms as we head through the remainder of the work week. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist meteorologist Casey Sherman.
You don't have to feel distant. Come join the conversation.
I just want to say I love America because everyone gets a voice.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
True relief for back and neck pain.
Back or neck pain is not just unpleasant, it can be debilitating, preventing you from performing your daily routine and even confining you to bed. In decades past, patients suffering from spinal issues were often just given pain medication, spinal injections, and, when they did not heal, often underwent spinal surgery. Luckily, there is now another option, non-surgical spinal decompression. At Johnson Spinal Care 596 Back, we use an advanced technology to apply a completely safe unloading force to relieve nerve compression associated with bulging herniated discs, sciatica, stenosis, scoliosis, neuropathy. This award-winning approach, safe for any age, has gained international praise from physicians for its success. Complete pain relief is achievable. Johnson Spinal Care is here to serve you. Call our Medicare-friendly office today for an immediate, no-charge telephone consultation. 596-BACK. 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
I'm Mark Anajar from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. Unfortunately, many drivers in Florida do not carry liability insurance or have limits of insurance that are insufficient to cover your injuries. Uninsured motorist is valuable coverage that you can purchase to protect you in those instances. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
Office in Fort Myers Naples.
License number CCC 1333045.
Storm safety starts at the top. When the wind and rain come, count on Crown Residential Services to make certain your roof is storm ready. After all, it should never rain inside your house. Crown offers repairs, replacement, free estimates, and the Crown Guard maintenance program, so you can be prepared and stay prepared. Is your roof ready? Not sure? Count on Crown. Call 855-CROWN-55. That's 855-CROWN-55. Make sure your biggest investment is absolutely protected. Call 855-CROWN-55.
Put a positive spin on your afternoon or evening. Experience the energizing power of nature. And don't forget the perfect companion, the wonderfully satisfying Nature Valley Granola Bar.
I received a call the other day from a woman. Her husband tragically was unable to call himself, but he had told her, if anything ever happens to me, call Morgan & Morgan. And what higher honor could we receive than protecting someone's family after they're gone? Life can be shattered in a moment. When that happens, know that America's largest injury law firm is here for you. When it comes to law, size matters. We're America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hi, I'm Ty Laster, Managing Partner and CEO of Key City Capital. So why are we here in Southwest Florida? Well, at KCAP, our mission is to connect capital to wealth for all of our partners through passive real estate investments. And very simply, we generate and distribute double-digit returns for our investors by investing in single-family homes and apartments and unique alternative cash-flowing asset-backed investments.
Call us today at 239-330-2080 or check us out online today at kcap925.com.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Hey, look at you. You look great this morning. I am so happy to see you here. 239-479-5592, the talk and text line, streaming live. DrewSteele.com is the website. Steele has 3 E's. We appreciate you watching. And Facebook at Drew Steele Radio for the time being. I know that was kind of a creepy start, but I'm so glad that you're watching this program. It's midweek. We're getting excited. We're already on the, as Jake likes to say, I'm already on the downward slide towards Thursday because Thursday is my big day for the downward slide because Friday I'm pretty much checked out. That's why we call it Jake Day. Friday, Jake Day, which means you just check out. All right. Do not check out of today's show because there's a lot to discuss. Critical race theory. Boy, I'll tell you what. You may. There are some people that are looking at critical race theory, trying to understand it. Some people who are being told by others there's nothing to see here, move along. There are a lot of school districts across the country that are being pressured by the parents who are seeing exactly what's happening, and they are not going to stand for it. And I'm just telling you, there's a national groundswell, not because it's some Republican talking point or, it's It's all you QAnon, crazy conspiracy theory, tinfoil hat, Trump supporters, all that kind of stuff. And you're just trying to come up with the next big thing to deflect from. No. It's all legit. And there's a lot of news on this. Hey, should it be a habit that we would have people arrested at school board meetings for public input? Would you like to see school boards shutting down public input? Do you think that's good when you have someone who has a couple of things to say at a school board meeting, and then next thing you know, they shut it down? These are things that are happening across the country. And there's a lot of local news that's going on with that, too. And so we're going to get to that this morning. I want to make sure that you are standing by for that at 7:35, a big dig into what's happening locally with some of critical race theory and some other stories that may or may not be getting headlines, but we'll give them headlines. So that's coming up. Supreme Court decisions, pretty important ones that happened. 5 big decisions that are going to be made by the court before all is said and done for this summer. And guess what? 3 of them or 2 of them, 3 of them are out. And so we're going to get into some details on what they are and why you should care about them, be concerned about it. It's always important to watch the court, see what the precedent that the court is setting, and see where it's going, and to know more about what we may or may not see in the future. So we're going to get to that at 8:05 as well. All right, let's see. Democrats are seething. Why are Democrats seething today? If you didn't hear the news yesterday, now the talk is the ending of the filibuster because Republicans blocked the Democrats for the People Voting Act. In other words, this voting act that was going to rearrange unconstitutionally everything that we know about elections, because Democrats are starting to see how states are responding to what happened in 2020 and the concerns about election integrity. And there's still news about that. Don't think that we on this program are going to stop talking about that, because we got audits that are going to wrap up in Arizona. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Pennsylvania is teasing the fact that they might like to check some of their numbers and their records. Some would say better late than never, but of course it would have been nice to do that early on. And Georgia, some of the Fulton County issues there, and some of the ballots, the mail-in ballot issues, and there's a lot to talk about there. But why are progressives seething, and what are they saying, and how have they now made it about? And just be ready this morning, everybody. Just be ready, because every Istanobia, every comment about you being a racist, GOP being racist because they want to see voter integrity and they don't want the federal government to be in charge of our elections, which would be a very, 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 I can keep going, very, very bad thing. They want to see it because it's the only way that they can see winning in the future is by doing something that will give them an opportunity to, I hate to say cheat, but Democrats don't do that. Yeah, they do. But we'll get to some of that coming. All right, and also, some other people are seething, even some locally here in Southwest Florida. There are people, I know you think that everybody in Southwest Florida loves seeing the governor stopping by Fort Myers, Naples, the Southwest Florida area, wherever you are. I know a lot of you think that everybody stands up and cheers when they see the governor here in our area, but I'm just telling you, there are some that may be seething a little bit. They don't like to see the governor here. Because they know that a lot of things are going to be done, are going to happen, that are going to be put out in the forefront, and they don't like that it's being discussed. Like the fact that the governor showed up yesterday and said, hey, you know what we're going to do? Here's an idea. We want to make sure that we have a law that's requiring students to learn about the evils of communism, and maybe even find out about some of the real patriots who escaped communism, why they came here. Wouldn't it be interesting to learn more about that? We're told that we're supposed to look towards and we're supposed to teach towards a progressive socialist utopia that can happen if only we did it. See, the problem with socialism and communism is everybody else did it, and they just screwed it up. If we have America do this, if we have the United States do this, oh, man, we could get it done like you can't believe, which is, no. So when a Republican governor, someone who is being talked about as a possible presidential candidate, comes out and says, listen, I have a question. Well, he doesn't say this, but I have a question, and I like the way he did this. First, let me play some audio from yesterday and 3 bills that were signed. into law Tuesday, boosting civics education in the public school system, and specifically teaches students the horrors of communism. Well, why do you have a problem with that? What's the big deal? Oh, we're doing that anyway. Really? I just want to make sure. Here's the governor.
The bill also expands our previous efforts in civics to add a requirement for the high school government class that students receive instruction on the evils of communism and totalitarian ideologies. We have a number of people in Florida, particularly southern Florida, who've escaped totalitarian regimes, who've escaped communist dictatorships to be able to come to America. Part of this bill, Florida will create a Portraits and Patriotism library so students can learn about real patriots who came to this country after seeing the horrors of these communist regimes.
Yeah, that would be a good thing, right? To be able to see that. It is interesting, is it not? When you have the left in our school districts, school boards, teachers, they're out there that are insisting that critical race theory is just, you're joking. Critical race theory, there's no curriculum on critical race theory. There's nothing that's out there that's like that. You're being taught, your kids being taught about equity, the idea of equality of outcome. Are your kids being talked and discussed? Are your kids being talked about the idea of social injustice? Are your kids being lined up and being told that the white kids should step out 2 steps and the black and Hispanic kids should step back 1, and this is oppression, and this is what oppression looks like in this country, and you're never going to change this unless you fundamentally break down the structures. We have to examine the structures that were created by white supremacists and racists to begin with. And if you're inherently racist and you created a system, then clearly that is inherently racist. And if it is, then that has to be broken down completely and recreated by people who are not. And until we get, that's what's happening. And so if you're insisting that that's okay, or that is something that's not, it's just about slavery. It's just about the fact that you don't want to teach about, really? Okay, well then if that's the case, then what would be your objection of teaching about the evils of communism? What's the problem there? Oh, well, we do that already. Really? To what degree? Do you mention that some countries were communist in the past, communist right now, what communism is specifically, and then leave it at that? Or do you really go through the evils? Because if you're telling us that, well, you got to talk about slavery and then the evils of white supremacy and then the evils. Really? Well, then you wouldn't have a problem with laws that would teach about the evils of communism, because those are real. Those are tangible. The hundreds of millions of people who died at the hands of communists is real. And you can look at that and say, let me show you. Well, so is the issue of slavery. Okay. It is interesting how that dynamic works, right? One is allowed and insisted upon, and then the other one is, no, it's not. You have to back away from the why. Why would you do that? And the left in the state is having a fit. When the governor says the sad reality is only 2 in 5 Americans can correctly name the 3 branches of government, and more than a third of Americans can't name any of the rights guaranteed by the First Amendment, it's abundantly clear that we need to do a much better job of educating students in civics to prepare them for the rest of their lives. Unless, of course, you don't believe in that, and unless, of course, you believe that the system is already inherently racist and a problem, in which time that could be really detrimental to, the future of the country. And that's not hyperbolic. That's real. And I'm going to explain that. Because on the heels of this story, which is an important one, and the governor doing this, is also Tom Cotton on Capitol Hill asking the chief naval officer, CNO Michael Gilday, why in the world would you have books like How to Be Anti-Racist by Ibram X. Kendi? Why in the world would you have books that you want to be read in front of the Senate Armed Services Committee, where he's questioning him on the books that are there that he is encouraging sailors to read? And when you hear what's in these books and the content and what he wants our sailors to read and learn and hear about through these books, as if they are gospel truth, you quickly realize, and the unfortunate truth, and maybe what some teachers and some school board members and some principals who think they're doing something noble and really good don't understand, that we are making and putting forward a situation in this country where our armed services, the ones that are supposed to keep us safe and secure from those who want to do us harm, who may attack us at any given moment, to trust that those same people will do what's right for a country that they are told is inherently racist and bad. And do you not see that? I read an article in American Thinker just over the weekend, and it is a viewpoint that people haven't discussed, and it's exactly what I mentioned. And we're going to get to the actual audio and get into the specifics, but I want you to think about this. This is critical. If we're teaching our military that this country is inherently racist, the notion that capitalism is essentially racist, that racism is capitalism, and that the only remedy for past discrimination is discrimination now, and the only remedy for present discrimination is future discrimination, and that somehow we all bear responsibility. The foundation of this country is inherently bad and has to be torn down. Do you understand the fear of many people who say, if you are in the military and these are the books you're encouraging people to read and you're going through all of this, then how are you positive? How are you sure that these sailors and soldiers, airmen, are all going to be willing to protect the country that they've been told is bad? What's the incentive? Why would you do it? It's a scary proposition, but it's one that Tom Cotton recognizes and one to think about and step back and say, well, hold on a second. It's a little more than that, isn't it? And that's just the military aspect of it. Now imagine what happens when your kids are learning about this in school and some of the things that they would be willing to do and not do due to a country that they are told is inherently racist and bad, and a system that needs to be shut down. What are the things that they wouldn't do? And who's teaching them that? 239-479-5592. So we'll get to that coming up. Also, the seething progressives. And now you're going to hear about it this morning, and I'll start off your morning coming up next break with what you're going to hear on the talking heads throughout the morning and the news outlets and all the fake news legacy media outlets, whether it's local, state, or national. Here they go. Get ready for what will be Republicans are racist. They're bad. They don't care about the country. They don't care about voting rights. Oh, it's going to be ugly. All because they stopped something from happening that was a good thing to stop from happening. So we'll get to that. All right. And what else? Well, let's get ready to take a break right now, Jake. What did the New Jersey, what was it? It was a pageant, a New Jersey pageant. What did this girl in this New Jersey pageant say that has everybody talking? It's like it was the Miss New Jersey pageant. Oh, man. Wait till you hear what an interview at the Miss New Jersey pageant on the stage, what was said, and man, you're gonna like this, I promise. It's a good thing. It's really not. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. All right, it's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Right all along, let's find out what's going on with traffic up to the minute. Here is Therese O'Shea.
Good Wednesday morning. Off to a quiet start on our road. Seeing some slight delays on 75 right around Daniels Parkway and Alico Road, and some smoke in the area on 75 near Corkscrew Road as well. Watch out for that as you're heading through southern Lee County, just from some brush fires inland, but not seeing any major visibility issues out there right now. Looking good on our area bridges crossing in and out of Cape Coral and North Fort Myers into downtown Fort Myers, and we're quiet right now if you're heading on Alligator Alley toward the East Coast. Still crash-free across Lee, Collier, and Charlotte counties as well. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Teresa O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Look for a better chance for thunderstorms today as we head into particularly the afternoon. Highs back to near 91 degrees with heat index values range between 97 to 103 degrees. Heading into tonight, storms wind down. Temperatures fall into the middle 70s with a high near 90 for your Thursday. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
This Fox News Business Report is presented by Sargent's Integrated Pest Solutions Incorporated, providing organic and botanical pest control solutions since 2011.
I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report.
A white knight appears to be on the way for millions of homeowners struggling to pay their mortgages due to the pandemic. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is set to adopt a new rule, according to Reuters, that bans most foreclosures until 2022. The Teamsters Union plans to vote on a resolution Thursday that would make it a priority to unionize Amazon warehouse workers and drivers. Morgan Stanley says no vaccine, no entry. The New York Times reports that starting July 12th, employees, clients, and visitors at the bank's buildings in New York City must prove they are fully vaccinated. And stocks rallied with the NASDAQ closing at a record high after Fed Chairman Powell told Congress the recent surge in inflation will likely be temporary. I'm Carmen Roberts. That's your Fox Business Report, invested in you.
If you're tired of the old cable news, you now have a choice. It's Newsmax. Every minute, Newsmax gives you the real news you can trust. Watch people like Ben Carson, Mike Huckabee, Alan Dershowitz, Dick Morris, Nancy Brinker, Mike Reagan, Rudy Giuliani, and more. Newsmax is on all major cable systems, or free on Roku, Zumo, Pluto, YouTube, and most smart TVs. Plus, download the free Newsmax app on your smartphone and start watching Newsmax now. America's trusted news.
Hi, Michael Crothers, owner of Pure Air Conditioning. You might have seen our matte gray trucks with blue and white lettering on the road. Just know that in every truck you see, there's a certified technician who is trained to repair your system, not just sell you a system. As always, you can chat with us online at getpureair.com. Also, please join me every Saturday at 11:30 for the Get Pure Air radio show. I'll be talking about everything from air conditioning maintenance to troubleshooting tips.
Trust. It's the rock-solid foundation of Moran Wealth Management. Over 40 years ago, they began advising clients on ways to help meet their financial goals. 4 decades later, we've helped many reach their goals of providing for themselves, their families, and future generations. CEO Tom Moran has assembled an impressive team of professionals, each committed to the same core concept. Tom is recognized by Barron's as a Hall of Fame advisor. To be named a Hall of Fame advisor, the advisor has to have been ranked by Barron's consecutively for the last 10 years in any of their rankings. Let us earn your trust. Call 239-920-4440 or visit moranwm.com. Barron's rankings are based on data provided by thousands of advisors. Factors included in the rankings were assets under management, revenue produced for the firm, regulatory record, length of service, quality of practice, and client retention. Investment products and services are offered through Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Network, LLC, WFAFN, member SIPC. Moran Wealth Management is a separate entity from WFAFN.
Hey, this is Papa with Casey, Carrie, and Cody. And as most of you know, when Irma hit in September of 2017, thousands of people tried unsuccessfully to call a roofing company. But all the roofers were so overwhelmed they could not handle or even answer those calls. Now here we are, 4 years later, and many of those same people are still waiting to have their roofs repaired. So we are implementing our proactive list. If you want to be on our list, call me for our free tolerance inspection. Once we inspect your roof, you will be on the proactive list. If or when the next storm hits, you will have no need to call any roofer because we will be calling you automatically to see if you need help. We can offer emergency repairs and tarp service or whatever your roof requires. Call Papa now for our free tile roof inspection, 945-2700. We believe it's wise to be proactive, and it costs you nothing to join our list. Call Papa for our free tile roof inspection at 945-2700. That's 945-2700, area code 239-945-2700. License number CCC 1326213.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. You know the real estate market's really hot right now, but for how long? Well, nobody really knows. I mean, if people don't catch up on their mortgage payments because of COVID, the market's going to get flooded with foreclosure inventory, and that's scary because your home's value could plummet. So if you thought about selling your home for a premium price, now's the time to do it. But you don't want to make any costly mistakes. That's why you need to get with Anthony Gomes from GomesMovesHomes.com. See, he's been buying, selling, brokering, and investing in real estate for over 20 years. Mistakes in real estate can cost you tens of thousands of dollars. Anthony wrote a book on how to sell homes, your home, and for the most money. And he wants to ship it to you for free. Just go to GomesMovesHomes.com and tell him where you want to send it. Inside, you'll gain 20 years of secrets from wealthy home sellers on how you can sell for a premium price without doing repairs, letting strangers go through your home, and you could pick the closing date. Go to GomesMovesHomes.com. Again, GomesMovesHomes.com.
This is Mike Roberts, Vice President at Mortgage Warehouse, Southwest Florida's mortgage price leader and home of the no closing cost mortgage. No points, no hidden fees, no loan costs, period. If the mortgage you have right now was done prior to COVID-19, you should call us for a free review. At Mortgage Warehouse, we understand how frustrating it can be to make your mortgage payment month after month, and the loan balance just doesn't seem to go down. The payment is mostly interest, but we can help with that. We can combine near record low mortgage rates with our local no closing cost program to improve your mortgage payment right away. You do not have to roll any closing costs into your loan balance to get these ultra low mortgage rates. You can apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com or call 313-5000. That's 313-5000. MortgageWarehouse.com.
Certain restrictions apply. NMLS ID 137154. Equal housing lender.
Goodbye, pests. I'll see you later. I called National Exterminators. For just $46, they get all rodents and bugs. 23946, no bug.
Call the boys and National Exterminators at 23946, no bug, or visit them online at pestcontrolmadeeasy.com for all your pest control needs. Bugs, termites, rodents, and even attic insulation. Better service, better prices, and no contracts.
Goodbye, pests. I'll see you later. I called National Exterminators. For just $46, they get all rodents and bugs. 23946, no bug.
Call the boys and National Exterminators at 23946, no bug, or visit them online at pestcontrolmadeeasy.com for all your pest control needs. Bugs, termites, rodents, and even attic insulation. Better service, better prices, and no contracts.
Fox News listeners, Saturday morning is the perfect time to talk boats and water fun in Southwest Florida. This is Anna again from Baywater Sousa Boat Club. Join us every Saturday morning from 7 to 8 for the Baywater Boat Club Hour. We talk boats, fishing, boating hotspots, water quality, on top of Jake the Millennial and I just having fun on the radio. And if you don't have a boat, Baywater Sousa Boat Club has got you covered. Just call me, Adam, at 239-495-0455.
Wink News, traffic.
Good Wednesday morning, off to a quiet start on our road. Seeing some slight delays on 75 right around Daniels Parkway and Alico Road, and some smoke in the area on 75 near Corkscrew Road as well. Watch out for that as you're heading through southern Lee County, just from some brush fires inland, but not seeing any major visibility issues out there right now. Looking good on our area bridges crossing in and out of Cape Coral and North Fort Myers into downtown Fort Myers. And we're quiet right now if you're heading on Alligator Alley toward the East Coast. Still crash-free across Lee, Collier, and Charlotte counties as well. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Well, happy Wednesday, Southwest Florida. Look for a higher chance for thunderstorms for today, with more of us seeing a chance for rain, storms, particularly for the afternoon, with temperatures back to near 91 for a high. Heat index values, thanks to the humidity, will range between 97 to 103 degrees. Temperatures only falling into the middle 70s as we wake up on your Thursday morning. A high near 90 for your Thursday afternoon, with additional chances for scattered storms as we head through the remainder of the work week. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
Plug into the power. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
It's Fred Kobe with your Kobe Cooling tip for the day. When you call us at 239-482-1542, what you'll get is a warm reception. We'll send out a real NATE-certified expert mechanic who will treat you and your time with respect. Our team will help to inform you of the situation and correct any issues that we find. Our goal is to make sure your experience with our team is a pleasant one, and we work very hard every day to meet that goal. Kobe is who we are, and cooling is what we do. But we also know we're nothing without you. Thank you, Southwest Florida, for almost 70 years of trust in our family. When you think of air conditioning companies, we hope you'll think of Kobe Cooling. No nonsense and no pressure. We're the company your neighbors use. License CACO 57313. Kobe, the most trusted name in the business since 1949, serving local Southwest Florida families for almost 70 years.
Ever purchased an online item and either it doesn't fit, has missing parts, or became damaged? Trying to save a few bucks can end up costing more. My Shower Door is a locally owned and operated family business that measures, manufactures, and installs our own brand of frameless shower doors right here in Southwest Florida. And we were just named Lee County's Manufacturer of the Year. With almost 80,000 shower doors installed, we have the experience and expertise. Plus, estimates are always free. Want to see more? Go to myshowerdoor.com.
Are you looking to have built or repaired a shingle, metal, or tile roof? Do you want to hire a company where the owner personally inspects your job and every job? Hello, I'm Jimmy Williamson of WB Williamson Brothers Roofing. If the answer is yes, 844-WB-BUILT. WB Williamson Brothers Roofing represents the fourth generation of a tradition that began with my grandfather back in 1967. And it's a tradition of building something that you can be proud to put your name on. If you need a quote for the construction or repair of a shingle, metal, or tile roof, call me, Jimmy, 844-WB-BUILT. Or visit us at 2944 South Street in Fort Myers. Williamson Brothers Roofing also specializes in stand and seam metal roofs and commercial flat roofs. Satisfied clients include Florida Gulf Coast University and Pensacola State College. Call Williamson Brothers Roofing at 844-WB-BUILT. That's 844-WB-BUILT. That's 844-WB-BUILT.
It's really a good feeling to know that when it comes to your house and all the water that is in every faucet, every place in your home, that you don't have to worry about the water smelling like chlorine or messing up your shower glass, your faucets, right, with that hard water staining, the drying out of your skin and your hair. Just imagine what that would be like. You don't have to imagine it. You can just do it. You call the Uniform Pentair water specialist. They can find out what's going on with your water and handle your city or well water issues. Yours, right here in Southwest Florida. With their mobile showroom, you can see for yourself that Pentair has both high-performance salt systems and salt-free solutions too. And salt-free means no lugging in bags of salt for you, and that they can install that Pentair water system for you as well. You're going to love the way your water tastes from every faucet and the peace of mind that only a Pentair water system can give you. So call now and get your free digital Pentair water test. Save 15% on your whole home water system by calling 239-880-7799. That's 239-880-7799, or book online at PelicanWestFL.com.
Hi, I'm Ty Laster, managing partner and CEO of Key City Capital. So why are we here in Southwest Florida? Well, at KCAP, our mission is to connect capital to wealth for all of our partners through passive real estate investments. And very simply, we generate and distribute double-digit returns for our investors by investing in single-family homes and apartments and unique alternative cash-flowing asset-backed investments.
Call us today at 239-330-2080 or check us out online today at kcap925.com.
Kennedy at 3 and drive home with Trey Radel at 5. Now back to Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News. Now back to Daybreak with Drew Steele.
Here in the U.S.,
more than 45% of the population is fully vaccinated, which is not enough. According to the CDC, 18 to 24-year-olds are the age group least likely to get vaccinated and most unsure about getting a shot. When you're that age, you think you're invincible. But we're talking about the same generation that can't have peanut butter and jelly in their lunchbox, okay? They are...
Look at you. Why are you making a face like that? Yeah, that's it's just Jimmy Kimmel and what he's... Listen, if they can't get you to vaccinate, they can insult you to the point where maybe you'll think about vaccinating. Even though the 18 to 24 year age group, when you talk about the vid and without like comorbidities and what it is when it comes to the issues of death due to COVID, there are some question marks about the science there, and what about getting the vaccine and being vaccinated? I'm talking about a healthy 18 to 24 year old, but we're not allowed to talk about that. Why are you? Why did you make him? Are you big on peanut butter and jelly? You like? That's like a staple in your house, isn't it?
Me?
Yeah.
You know the little Uncrustables?
No, oh, you mean the little things that don't have, you buy them already prepackaged, they're already made like that?
Mm-hmm.
Is that, you live on those things?
Not entirely. I put them in the air fryer for 4 minutes at 325. The most wonderful thing you'll ever eat.
Whoa. Hold on a second. Wait, you take Uncrustables, peanut butter and jelly, the little and you put them in an air fryer?
Oh, yes, sir.
To do what?
To fry them.
You fry peanut butter and jelly sandwiches? Why?
I do toaster strudels, too.
Well, toaster strudels, they're meant to do. I've never heard of that before. Like that seems like something you would have at the fair, like deep fried Oreos or something like that. Is that?
So what's real cool is if you cut a hole in the middle of it and then you dip it in powdered sugar afterwards, you have a donut. It's a peanut butter and jelly donut.
Who taught? Is this what you're doing on TikTok every day?
Exactly.
You're serious? Like somebody taught you to do this on TikTok? Yes. This has to stop. This scourge of TikTok. This has to stop. We've got to put this. We got to stop this.
I go on there for a Carmine Marcino and food.
Okay, that's the second time you brought up the sheriff's name in TikTok.
I love his TikTok.
Okay, great. That's awesome, and he's awesome. We get it. The whole thing with the sandwich though is so like that's you realize health-wise that's a problem. Like this is not a is there a vegetable in sight of your home within 100 yards of your house? Is there a vegetable anyplace at all? No,
Yeah.
No. The answer, what? Like, what is it? What's a
like the little small pieces of frozen vegetable in my breakfast potatoes that I normally
Okay,
eat?
is a tomato a fruit or a vegetable?
It's a berry.
239-479-5592, the talk and text line. Streaming live, drewsteele.com is the website. You're talking about the vaccination. We hear that the White House is admitting, listen, we're not going to get to 70%. We wanted to get to it. Joe Biden says, hey, all you kids out there.
We choose truth over facts.
Yeah, get out there and get yourself vaccinated. And when the president says it, it doesn't do anything. So they're not going to get the vaccination up to 70% by July 4th. We'll be close. You know, there's a lot of questions about vaccinations and if you've had the vid already and antibodies and those that were asymptomatic and whether or not they already have immunity built up. And there's a lot of questions when it comes to what we'll be seeing. And even some countries now, EU countries, are starting to focus more on hospitalizations. It's like, listen, we're always going to have it. We're always going. The story just came out, right? Let me see if I can find it. Where countries are starting to say, listen, we're taking a new tact with this whole idea of numbers and what's going on with the vid. Here you go. Wealthy nations now focusing on hospitalizations. This is the story from Zero Hedge. Experts are questioning whether a booster dose will even be necessary for most healthy people in the coming months as epidemiologists continue to keep a close eye on the spread of the Delta mutant COVID strain that's partly responsible for the UK's decision to delay the unwinding of its lockdowns. And they're saying in countries like the U.S., the link between infections and deaths has diminished. And now in some places, instead, the focus is shifting to learning to live with COVID like we've learned to live with the flu. Like, that's it. It's a paradigm shift. And we're not going to talk about confirmed cases. We're not going to go through the number of cases and testing, Nancy Pelosi, right? It's just a
bowl of doggy do.
Well, that's not really what it is. But what we're going to do is we're going to concentrate more on the number of hospitalizations, and that's what people are looking at. I'm just telling you that's when you have the elderly that are protected and those with comorbidities and the most vulnerable, and now we know a lot about it, that's where the focus is starting to go with a lot of different countries. Like, it's here. It's not going away. So let's stop making it the entire focus. Let's keep an eye on hospitalizations and also, I'm assuming, therapeutics. You know, there's another story out yesterday that I didn't get a chance to talk about that had to do with ivermectin and how, it looks like that does help. We're not allowed to talk about it, though, on social media. I might even get dropped now from social media on this episode as you're watching at drewsteele.com, whether it's on YouTube or Facebook or at the website, because, you're not allowed to say things about therapeutics that could help. But apparently, ivermectin is something that has been helping those that have the vid. And now, how does that work? Of course, if you said it in the past, you were demonetized, you were taken down off of social media. You may not even get the chance to get back onto social media. But there's another story as well, as the White House is saying, look, we're not going to get the 70% vaccination. But there's another story that's out that has to do with the vid. It has to do with the Saint Fauci, the doctor of all things that is good and pure and can't even say it with a straight face. And so some more things that we're learning about the media allowing itself to be duped by one man on COVID-19. And it wasn't Dr. Fauci, although the Fauci connection is there. New York Post had this story. Truth is starting to come out about Peter Daszak. The more we learn about him, one of the main villains of the COVID epidemic, the worse it gets. President of EcoHealth Alliance, a non-governmental organization mostly funded by the U.S. government. EcoHealth passed some of that money on to the lab in, can I say it? Should I say it? Yeah, I must say it. In Wuhan. That's in China. It was Daszak who organized the letter in the Lancet from February 2020, dismissing as misinformation those claims that the virus may have originated from the Wuhan virology lab, remember? The letter created the illusion of consensus, which internet companies proceeded to enforce through censorship, and the media reinforced by constantly interviewing Daszak himself. If you talked about it being from the lab, you knew what happened to you, right? We've all heard about this. Now, the article in the New York Post that's written by Arthur Bloom goes on to say, listen, there might be journalistic value in hearing from the Chernobyl plant director about all those clouds floating over Ukraine. But if he suggests the rash of mysterious sores and cancers were due to a faulty shipment of microwaves recently arrived in Pripyat, you'd probably think he was engaged in a bit of quote-unquote motivated reasoning. Apparently not the World Health Organization, which invited Daszak to join their microwave hunt in Wuhan. In the last 2 days, Daszak has been removed from the Lancet's own UN-backed commission investigating COVID's origins, though whether he removed himself or was fired remains unclear, though it appears Daszak collaborated with Fauci as well, based on recently released emails in which he thanks the NIAID director for, quote, publicly standing up and stating that the scientific evidence supports a natural origin for COVID-19 from a bat-to-human spillover, not a lab release. And now we top it all off with the Trump administration canceled the EcoHealth grant in 2020, a move that was characterized by 60 Minutes and NPR as jeopardizing a possible COVID-19 cure. Both stories featured, you want to guess? Daszak. And now we learn Google's charitable arm may have also funded EcoHealth. Steve Hilton suggested on Monday on Fox that Google funding might have something to do with why information about COVID was so ruthlessly policed on social media platforms and search engines. Here's the thing. The one thing that we should not be politicizing COVID was completely and utterly politicized. That's nothing new. I mean, now we come to realize all this. But yet we were told tinfoil hat, Trump supporters, GOP, crazy people. You know how that goes. So please don't tell us that the media and the left in this country tries to shape a narrative against us. And then when we are all ticked off about the fact that this is happening, you're like, the left is like, yeah, keep it down. That's not happening. You're tinfoil hat people. Critical race theory. Hey, keep it down. You're all just doing this because you're trying to go after the fact that we have slavery in our history and you don't want it being taught, which is ridiculous. And you need to push back. And it's a good thing we are. And we've got some audio on that coming up and how the pushback is on. But the failures of this for years and how we were not allowed to say things and how many lives were lost because of those that would not admit to some things that were out there, whether it was even therapeutics that could have helped. And somehow we're the ones that are the problem. No. All this does is reinforce more and more that you have to question everything. You question everything. Sorry. Can't trust anybody or anything necessarily without verifying it yourself. You've got to do that work. And many people are, no doubt. 239-479-5592. The talk and text line. Why don't we just take a break right now? Let's just do that. Let's see. When we come back, not liking this story out of Naples, a suspect accused of faking documents to get driver's licenses in North Naples. The story's pretty deep. This person got licenses a couple of different times. Second time might have caused a red flag. And how were they able to show an established Florida residency? I wonder if this speaks to identification and even when it comes to voter ID and how important it is to have more than just, hey, I got a bank statement. Does that work for you? Yeah. Maybe we should work on that a little more. I'll explain coming up. Stay break 92.5 Fox News. Right all along, there's traffic with Therese O'Shea.
Your Wednesday morning drive off to a clear start up and down I-75. All of our roadway debris that I saw right around the Peace River in Charlotte County has cleared off the road, so looking good out there right now and up to speed closer into Fort Myers and farther south toward Collier County. We're looking good on the interstate. US 41, not seeing any significant slowdowns just yet. Getting busy if you're heading out through Daniels Parkway right past I-75, heading toward Fiddlesticks Boulevard. Looking good on our bridges between the Cape and Fort Myers, taking about 2 to 3 minutes in each direction on the midpoint and Cape Coral Bridge. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Look for a better chance for thunderstorms today as we head into particularly the afternoon. Highs back to near 91 degrees with heat index values range between 97 to 103 degrees. Heading into tonight, storms wind down. Temperatures fall into the middle 70s with a high near 90 for your Thursday. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Steve. I'm here to pick up your daughter.
Are you a lawyer, Steve?
No.
You a doctor?
No.
What do you do, Steve?
I work for Rock Solid Countertops and More.
Wait, did you say Rock Solid Countertops?
Yes.
That's where you get a free sink?
You sure do.
And you get free materials for your bathroom, only paying for installation?
Yes.
Come on in, Steve.
At Rock Solid, your sink is free, along with free bathroom countertop materials. Just pay for installation when you get kitchen countertops. Rock Solid, JNC Boulevard, Naples, rocksolidnaples.com or 596-7676. Rock Solid, where you always get more.
Got mold?
In your house?
What do I do now?
Call 239-936-1033.
Call Fire Service, your disaster response friends.
Tyler McCluskey here, and I'm reminding you about our new show that airs every Saturday at 11 a.m. right here on 92.5 Fox News. Every week I give you all the information you need to know about your health insurance needs. We also promote local real estate, entertainment, and have a guest host each week. Be sure to tune in live every Saturday at 11 a.m. or download our show on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. For more information or a health insurance quote, visit TylerMcCluskey.com.
Join us this Saturday at 11 a.m. for the Tyler McCluskey Show, right here on 92.5 Fox News.
Hey, we've got my friend Dave Meister on the phone, of course, with the Floor Meisters, the family-owned Floor Meisters in Naples. And Dave, listen, I know you got a lot of things going on. You're selling a lot of cord tech. That's great, but you got this 8,000 square foot showroom with a selection of carpet that is absolutely unbelievable as well. And the prices right now are pretty amazing. So I hear you got this whole thing going on with Dreamweaver carpets.
Well, we have the Dreamweaver Select, which is this is $3.99 carpet pad and labor, but this has a lifetime warranty for pet stains, abrasive wear, and even for steps, a stair warranty. Nobody's ever had that before.
Listen, if you haven't been to the Floormeisters, you really owe it to yourself to visit their store, 6281 Naples Boulevard, right next to Costco. Whether it's tile, laminate, hardwood, or, of course, carpet, they've got it all. So give them a call today, 239-596-4964, or on the web at floormeisters.com.
This is Mike Roberts, Vice President at Mortgage Warehouse, Southwest Florida's mortgage price leader and home of the no closing cost mortgage. No points, no hidden fees, no loan costs, period. If the mortgage you have right now was done prior to COVID-19, you should call us for a free review. At Mortgage Warehouse, we understand how frustrating it can be to make your mortgage payment month after month, and the loan balance just doesn't seem to go down. The payment is mostly interest, but we can help with that. We can combine near record low mortgage rates with our local no closing cost program to improve your mortgage payment right away. You do not have to roll any closing costs into your loan balance to get these ultra low mortgage rates. You can apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com or call 313-5000. That's 313-5000. MortgageWarehouse.com.
Certain restrictions apply. NMLS ID 137154. Equal housing lender.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
No, it's true. It's true. 239-479-5592. I'm talking to Jake in the break here. And I don't know. I just saw this story. It says Disney World guest says she was forced to wear a gift shop T-shirt in the New York Post. It's like a big, huge story. Really? A Disney World visitor claims that the park staff forced her to put on a gift shop T-shirt because she was wearing a strappy cropped top and it wasn't appropriate. She was at Epcot last week, escorted by staff. She had to go change her shirt because it wasn't appropriate. And then on the very, very famous Loved by Jake the Millennial TikTok, she showed the video of how, the little strappy number had to be covered up. I didn't know there was a dress code. You can't wear. It's interesting. But you can have neither. But you can do transgender. Look at the LGBTQ flag. How awesome it is singing songs about it on Disney Plus. That's but that's not no. It's not the same thing. Shouldn't even say that. That's awful. All right, sorry. I'm just asking. I don't know what the. Okay. Yeah. 239-479-5592. That's Hey, coming up, some interesting audio that you may or may not be aware of. I guess apparently when you're talking about critical race theory and you've got questions maybe at the Loudoun County School Board meeting, and they declare it to be an unlawful assembly. Some parents there and protesting against critical race theory, they don't like it. And a transgender policy, almost like the Equality Florida issue with transgenders and how it, look, it's in the school district. I didn't know. There's posters up. Oh, my kids are, I had no idea. That kind of thing. And look what's happening.
Now, hey, John, don't resist. You guys, this is an unlawful arrest. I have a First Amendment right. Listen.
Yeah, that's the sound of somebody getting arrested there. Yeah. For being upset about the push of critical race theory and transgender policies and the fact that you speak up at a school board meeting and then the school board says, nope, we're shutting it down, unlawful assembly. You're not allowed. And that's so there's that. There's some local stories that have to do with what's going on with our school boards and critical race theory and even some other stories that we're going to touch on at 7:35. Brendan Leslie's going to join us. So there's that. SCOTUS information, some of the things that have happened, big decisions made by the Supreme Court. Going to get to the details of some of those decisions and why it's important to you. You got to keep an eye on these cases. And the audio from the Miss New Jersey pageant contestant is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And I'm going to play that next. You got to hear it coming up. Plus, Democrats are seething. And it's because of Republicans. So that's not necessarily a bad thing. Why are they seething, Jake? We'll talk about that coming up. All right, let's get to break. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. We stream live every day. DrewSteele.com. It's the website. You can watch, you can listen, you can see exactly what's going on. And also, if you want to continue to watch at YouTube or Facebook, at Drew Steele Radio. It's there. All right, more coming up. Daybreak 92.5, Fox News, right all along.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. Divorce can be complicated, especially if children are involved. If you're a father and want to protect your role in your children's lives, remember Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men with matters like these for 30 years, and we'd love to help you.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Miami area attorneys. Online at CordellCordell.com. Se habla español. Legal services available in English and Spanish. Miami, Florida. Lisa Carges, Florida resident partner. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. Announcer is a paid presenter.
NCH Heart Institute is home to the most experienced and most dedicated team of physicians and nurses in Southwest Florida. Over the past 30 years, NCH Heart Institute has mastered the quality, the care, and the holistic patient experience that can only be found within a nationally ranked heart institute. Caring for patient, mind, heart, and body. That's the cornerstone of our critical care team, which ranks in the top 2% of all hospitals in America.
NCH Heart Institute, at the heart of what matters most.
Ask Sherwin-Williams and get your color your way. We've made it easier than ever to try and buy color. Preview paint colors in your home with our Color Snap app. Then visit swsamples.com to have color chips delivered to your door for free. Or order some peel and stick samples to try on your wall. When you're ready to paint, shop online or stop by your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store and get everything you need.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 7 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
The minority blocks the majority. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Republicans put a stop to a federal election reform plan House Democrats already approved. GOP Senator Mike Lee tells Fox.
This was a victory for the angels. This bill was written and held by the devil himself. This bill wouldn't make it easier to vote. This would make it easier to vote illegally.
Democrats say the bill would counter what they call voter suppression efforts in some states. Vice President Harris.
This is about the American people's right to vote. Unfettered. It is about their access to the right to vote in a meaningful way.
In New York City's race for mayor, Eric Adams is in the lead in the Democratic primary, but it'll take days to tabulate because they used a ballot where voters rank up to 5 candidates. Curtis Sliwa won the Republican nomination. Amid surging crime in many U.S. cities this year, President Biden plans to take action later today.
The president's proposal is expected to include police reforms, plus ways to keep guns out of the hands of criminals. We're told Mr. Biden will make a series of executive orders and call on Congress to pass gun legislation. The House already passed 2 bills on background checks, but is less likely to get through the Senate.
Fox's Caroline Shively. As China resists international pressure to fully cooperate with a probe into COVID's origins and if the virus leaked out of the lab, it's cracking down further in Hong Kong. Fox's Simon Owen has this live.
Dave, one of Hong Kong's leading newspapers, an outspoken pro-democracy tabloid called Apple Daily, says it's shutting down and tomorrow's print edition will be its last. The closure comes less than a week after police raided the newspaper's offices and assets linked to the company were frozen. It's the latest in a series of blows to Hong Kong's pro-democracy movement as China exerts more control. Dave?
Simon, there's a report out of Iran on a news site there that authorities have thwarted what they say was a sabotage attack on the country's civilian nuclear program. America's listening to Fox News.
This update is presented by Lee Auto Group. Find your perfect vehicle at lee-cars.com.
Wink News, traffic.
Good Wednesday morning. We're keeping an eye on a vehicle fire along I-75 northbound at mile marker 138 near the exit to State Road 82, so watch out for some activity out there. Not tracking any delays with that nearby, though. Also have a crash I'm watching in Lehigh at Leonard Boulevard South and Noble Avenue South, right near the golf course out there at the entrance. So just watch out for some activity. No roadblock, no injuries, though. Looking good along State Road 82 and no problems right now on Daniels. Just some slight delays going right through Tree Line and I-75. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Well, happy Wednesday, Southwest Florida. Look for a higher chance for thunderstorms for today, with more of us seeing a chance for rain, storms, particularly for the afternoon, with temperatures back to near 91 for high. Heat index values, thanks to the humidity, will range between 97 to 103 degrees. Temperatures only falling into the middle 70s as we wake up on your Thursday morning. A high near 90 for your Thursday afternoon, with additional chances for scattered storms as we head through the remainder of the work week. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
Drive the lefties at work crazy with the facts. Get up to speed mornings with Drew Steele.
92.5 Fox News. Right, all along.
Hi, I'm Kyle Lee with Lee Auto Group. We want your car, truck, van, or SUV today. We are paying top dollar for clean vehicles. Before you sell or trade, call Lee Auto Group to get the most money for your car. Lee Auto Group, lee-cars.com. Don't forget the dash.
Lee Auto Group is looking for quality pre-owned vehicles. Let them make your buying or selling experience easy and safe. Contact Lee Auto Group at 239-288-7374 or visit lee-cars.com.
Don't forget the dash.
The only thing worse than hiring no law firm after your injury is hiring the wrong law firm. When thousands of people call us every year asking to help them change law firms, I wonder why they ever call the other firm. When you're fighting to get what you deserve, it's go big or go home. We are big for a reason, which is why we've recovered over $9 billion for our clients. When it comes to law, size matters. We're America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Tee up and swing into summer at Coral Oaks Golf Course in Cape Coral. Experience excellent playing conditions, GPS golf carts, and low summer rates. Play 18 holes with cart for just $35 before noon, $30 after noon, or play any day after 2 p.m. for only $25 all summer long. Book tee times up to 7 days in advance at coraloaksgolf.com. We'll see you at Coral Oaks, where every day is a great day.
At Johnson Spinal Care 596 Back, I strive to offer the highest level of care for those suffering with back and neck problems. With unparalleled service and our award-winning non-surgical spinal decompression approach, thousands of people have chosen us to treat their back or neck problems. If you are seeking lasting relief that is proven effective without needles or surgery, then call today to see if you may be a candidate. This completely safe treatment can be effective for many conditions, including sciatica, ruptured or herniated discs, facet syndrome, compressed nerves, arthritis, and spinal stenosis. Additionally, people who had failed back surgery in the past often find incredible relief from spinal decompression. At Johnson Spinal Care, all our treatments are drug-free and non-surgical. We use new and comprehensive approaches that provide lasting relief. Johnson Spinal Care is here to serve you. Call our Medicare-friendly office today for an immediate, no-charge telephone consultation. 596-BACK. 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
Hey Suncoast, get ready to explore big life by going tiny. Great American Tiny House Show is June 26th and 27th at Bradenton Area Convention Center. Tour tiny houses on and off wheels, plus schoolies. Talk to experts about the difference tiny living makes in their lives. Learn to reduce, reuse, recycle. Get your tickets online now at greatamericantinyhouse.show. Coming this weekend, June 26th and 27th at Bradenton Area Convention Center. Get your tickets now at greatamericantinyhouse.show.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. Thanks for joining us, 239-479-5592, the talk and text line, streaming live. DrewSteele.com is the website. Steele has 3 E's. We appreciate you watching. Coming up this hour, a lot to discuss. Miss New Jersey. Or did they say Miss New Jersey? Anyway, the pageant. Some questions were asked of one Miss New Jersey contestant. And oh boy, we got to play this audio coming up. It was... oh man, it's good stuff. All right, so that's coming up. Also, at the bottom of the hour, we're going to be joined by Brendan Leslie, and he's the founder, editor-in-chief, FloridaConservativeVoice.com. FLConservativeVoice.com is the website. CRT News, local CRT News, some of the things that's happening here in Southwest Florida, Collier County as well. Some news out of Collier County that you're going to want to hear about. And some issues as well when it comes to the things that we've been talking about here with our textbooks and classrooms and getting into some more specifics locally. So Brendan Leslie is going to join us at 7:35. All right, I wanted to get to this. Democrats are seething. They're not happy what Republicans did. Republicans did something so awful, technically. Did I say technically? Not technically. Apparently, I was going to say. Racist, awful things that the GOP did yesterday. And here is how it went down on the floor here.
On this vote, the yeas are 50, the nays are 50. 3/5 of the senators duly chosen and sworn not having voted in the affirmative. The motion is not agreed to.
Is not agreed to. There's the Vice President Harris. That's right, 50-50 vote. Republicans filibustered the Democrats' voting rights bill. There's the video of it. Senate Republicans block voting rights reform bill despite unified Democratic support. The Democrats were all for this, and look at what they did. And Chuck Schumer had something to say about it.
Madam President.
Mr. Majority Leader.
Madam President, I want to be...
I don't really care. It's Chuck Schumer. We don't really care. You know what it's going to be. It's going to be complete demagoguing, hyperbolic statements. I mean, do you really care what Chuck Schumer has to say? You know it's going to be Republicans are bad, and they've... well, no, let it play, because we got to hear from Chuck, Uncle Chuck. Here we go.
Clear about what just happened on the Senate floor.
You got to hear it.
Every single Senate Republican...
That's right.
...just voted against starting debate on legislation to protect Americans' voting rights.
Protecting Americans' voting rights. That's what it was about. It was about protecting Americans, and the GOP doesn't want to protect you. They don't want to protect you. You realize that. Oh, it's just dogs and cats getting along all over town. It's awful, I tell you. Okay. So, bad stuff. And the New York Times saying, you got to do it. You got to nuke the filibuster. We got to do this, everybody. Senate Republicans, this is what the New York Times said. Senate Republicans on Tuesday blocked the most ambitious voting rights legislation to come before Congress in a generation. It's a generation. We can't let this go by. This is something that'll never be able to be forwarded again. Let's hope so. Using the filibuster to deal a blow to the bid by President Biden and Democrats to counter a wave of state-level ballot restrictions and fueling a political battle, that promises to shape the 2022 election. See how that goes down? They had to counter the wave of state-level ballot restrictions. I mean, it was restrictions, restricting the ability of people to vote until you find out that that's not what happened at all. It didn't happen in Florida, didn't happen in Georgia, not happening in any of these states. And again, when you see the numbers, the very big, huge, some would say, large numbers of individuals who are like, when it comes to voter ID, yeah, we're all about it. 80% of Democrats. I mean, the numbers are through the roof when it comes to people who want to see election integrity, who want to make sure that this is going to happen. Americans favor laws requiring voters to produce identification, for example, in order to vote. Democrats said, no, it's discriminatory. You can't have this. But the numbers are not on their side. Among Republicans, 91% supported photo ID, for example. Among independents, 87%. Democrats, 62%. Democratic leaders in Washington know that a solid majority of their own voters support a measure of some of them. And some of them have been denouncing this for years. Looking inside the numbers, Byron York at the Washington Examiner did a great job of doing this. But you know how they talked about it yesterday. MSNBC guest Mark Thompson commenting on the Senate voting down the Democrats' election bill What did he say?
And everything he said, and he called out the Republican Party for what it is. Democrats, 50 Democrats represent 43 million more people than the 50 Republicans do. And this is a holdover from really the time of enslavement.
It's a holdover from enslavement, talking about the filibuster. You see where we're going here, everybody? It's a holdover from slavery. It's the old, the white supremacists, the racists who created the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. All of this has to go away. By the way, that's being taught in our schools. See how this works? Yeah, what about this? Nationalizing state elections. Doing something unconstitutional. Seize the authority of states to regulate voter registration and the voting process. Implementing early voting, automatic voter registration, same-day registration, online voter registration, no-fault absentee balloting, making it easier to commit fraud doing the same-day registration. 15 days of mandated, I'm telling you all the things that was in the For the People Act. That was supposed to be what we're doing to make sure voter integrity is there and everybody gets the opportunity to vote. Requires states to count ballots cast by voters outside of their assigned precincts. No fault absentee ballots. Ban state voter ID laws. Ban it. Of course, Joe Manchin is like, no, we're not going to ban it. We want voter ID. We have no problem with it. Stacey Abrams saying, no problem with it. Raphael Warnock out of Georgia. No. I never said that there's any problem with that until you realize that, of course, they're on record saying they're against it. But there's a difference between photo ID identification. Boy, it is really insulting to suggest that there's a group of individuals that in no way, shape, or form would be able to get a photo ID. Somehow that's unbelievably impossible. That it can't happen. That's not really a good thing to say, is it? Well, Democrats say it all the time. But Joe Manchin says, no, why don't we put something in here that says voter ID? It's cool. Yeah, we'll do that. How about you got a utility bill? That works, right? Well, does it? Again, Mara Gray on MSNBC talking about this yesterday as well and the failure of it. Listen to this.
The Vice President, Kamala Harris, is speaking directly, I believe as well, not just to Democratic voters, but to Black voters and others whose vote is directly under threat. We see you. We will fight for you. Hang with us.
How is it directly under threat? Can we have an explanation how Black voters, their votes are directly under threat? We don't get to have any kind of expansion of the explanation of that. Never happens. Doesn't happen with critical race theory. We never get the explanation of why this is a positive for the country, why this would be good for our constitutional republic, not democracy, because we're not a democracy, but you keep saying it. You got to say it time and time and time again. Democracy. The democracy dies in darkness. The democracy. We're not a democracy. We're a constitutional republic. There's another reason why we need civics, and we got to explain that. And good for the governor for calling that out as well. But do you see, again, what we talked about earlier? How we're told that certain individuals aren't going to be able to vote. We're taking away their rights. This is racist. This is something that is inherent because of our slave-owning past. And this is why we have to destroy all of these things. And the idea of this being taught in our schools, which you're going to get to at 7:35, and is that happening, and what you're doing about it. And many across the country witness and see this and don't want this taught to our kids. But again, like I brought up earlier, and I think this is important. You want to know why this is a huge deal? I'm not talking about the For the People Act and Democrats seething and all of that. I'm talking about why it's important that we look at teaching critical race theory, calling out this country, and saying that it's racist, and fundamentally because racists were the ones that created the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, that all of it has to be dismantled because there's no way you're going to escape it. And if you're white, inherently, just by the color of your skin, inherently that you are somebody who is racist, and there's nothing that you can do to escape it. and maybe the only part that you would be able to do to help is to dismantle everything that we know, our foundations as a country. Do you understand that a perfect example of the dangers inherent in this is Tom Cotton talking to an admiral just a few days ago, Chief Naval Officer Michael Gilday. And I want you to listen to this exchange, because this is chilling, everybody. This is something that we really, truly do need to talk about. And I want you to listen to this. Tom Cotton.
Thank you. Thank you. Admiral Gilday, I want to talk about your choice to include books like How to Be an Anti-Racist and The New Jim Crow on your professional reading list. We discussed this last week in our phone call. Normally, I wouldn't disclose that conversation, but you said the exact same thing in front of the Armed Services Committee in the House last week, which I found deeply disappointing. When you're asked questions about this, you characterize it as a criticism of sailors for being weak. That is a straw man. It's not a criticism of sailors being weak. It's a criticism of your decision to include these books on your professional reading list, which ensigns and sailors across your service take very seriously. So we have sailors that are being encouraged to read these books. Now listen. I just want to give you a sampling of some of the things that are included in books like this. That the notion that capitalism is essentially racist and racism is essentially capitalist. That the only remedy for past discrimination is present discrimination. The only remedy for present discrimination is future discrimination. That some individuals, by virtue of his or her race, are inherently oppressive.
Hey, any of this being taught in our schools? Any of this?
Or privileged, while others are victimized or oppressed. That individuals can bear some kind of collective responsibility or collective guilt for the actions committed by members of his or her race.
Yeah. Oppression being talked about in our schools this way? And Tom Cotton asks the Admiral, Chief Naval Officer, Admiral, says,
Admiral Gilday, how did these books get on your reading list?
How did they get on the reading list?
Sir, I chose a variety of books. There are over 50 books on my reading list to give our sailors a wide range of information from which I hope they can make facts-based decisions on both their ability to look outwardly at potential aggressors like China and Russia, as well as looking inwardly and being honest with ourselves in areas that we need to improve.
Number one, fact-based? Really? These opinions in these books in Ibram X. Kendi, these are being an anti-racist by being a racist? Is this is fact-based? This is... And again, he brings up that important point. And I can't emphasize this enough. Listen to the last part of what he says.
On both their ability to look outwardly at potential aggressors like China and Russia, as well as looking inwardly and being honest with ourselves in areas that we need to improve.
So we're teaching sailors to read these books, to look inwardly or outwardly at countries that we know are a danger to us, that we're concerned about possibly defending the homeland, defending this country. And then looking inward and saying, well, we have an inherently racist country. This country is fill in the blank with any word that you can think that would be a negative against the United States. Anybody ever talk about the dangers of having military members believe that their country stinks? Like, why am I doing this? I'm on the battlefield. Why am I doing this? Why? Why defend this country when I'm being told lies and being told all of these things about how awful the country is? Anybody standing up to say, hey, what about that part? Anybody in the military say, no. We have to have a cohesive unit of individuals who not only are cohesive as individuals in their groups as they battle on the battlefield, but also be unified for a love of country and the Constitution and our founding. And if we are starting to create a military that doesn't look at the country that way, that can't be together in groups without being divided, isn't that a problem? Anybody talking about that? Anybody in the military standing up and saying anything about it? Or is it just me? Or maybe I'm crazy. That's probably what it is. It's more like me. All right. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. Streaming live, drewsteele.com is the website. Coming up, I got to play this audio. Hopefully I'll have time from Miss New Jersey in this pageant. I don't know if you heard this, but it's kind of what you don't expect to hear from a pageant, a Miss New Jersey or any state pageant. I don't think they were expecting it either. Wait till you hear it coming up. Stay break 92.5 Fox News. Right all along with traffic. Here's Therese O'Shea.
Good Wednesday morning. We're keeping an eye on a vehicle fire along I-75 northbound at mile marker 138 near the exit to State Road 82. So watch out for some activity out there. Not tracking any delays with that nearby, though. Also have a crash I'm watching in Lehigh at Leonard Boulevard South and Noble Avenue South, right near the golf course out there at the entrance. So just watch out for some activity. No roadblock, no injuries, though. Looking good along State Road 82 and no problems right now on Daniels. Just some slight delays going right through Tree Line and I-75. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Look for a better chance for thunderstorms today as we head into particularly the afternoon. Highs back to near 91 degrees with heat index values range between 97 to 103 degrees. Heading into tonight, storms wind down. Temperatures fall into the middle 70s with a high near 90 for your Thursday. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
Get more than what the internet tells you. Get up to speed on The Drive with Trey Radel. Weekdays 5 to 7.
92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
Is foot pain making your life miserable? The Good Feet store specializes in foot pain relief. Call 552-FEET or visit us at the Good Feet store in Naples or our newest location in Fort Myers. Or stop in for a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
It's a hot afternoon, and you're listening to the news. And now you're hot under the collar, too. I'm Matt from Island Air. When you choose an AC contractor, you're entrusting that company with the air that you and your family breathe. A healthy unit means a healthier household. Island Air has a long history in Southwest Florida and hundreds of customer reviews that you can see on our website at islandairfl.com, where you will see the Island Air difference. Want to try us out? Our $99 System Saver one-time maintenance is guaranteed. If your AC breaks within 6 months of the maintenance, we will credit the payment towards any repair. Island Air also offers free second opinions. Let us review your quote for any service, replacement, or repair for your peace of mind.
IslandAirFL.com. That's IslandAirefL.com. IslandAirefL.com or call 239-645-4668. That's 239-645-4668. License number CAC 057544.
Got mold?
In your house?
What do I do now?
Call 239-936-1033.
Call Fire Service, your disaster response friends.
Ty Lassiter here with Key City Capital. And we're super excited to be growing roots right here in Southwest Florida and are looking forward to being a part of this community for years to come. So why are we Key City Capital here in Southwest Florida? Well, at KCAP, our mission is to connect capital to wealth for all our clients and partners through passive real estate and alternative investments. Very simply, we generate and distribute double-digit returns for our investors by investing in single-family homes and apartments and unique alternative cash-flowing asset-backed investments.
If you're looking for significant returns from real estate and alternative investments without any risk of loss to your principal and without all the work of collecting rent or worrying about stock market volatility, call us today at 239-330-2080. That's 239-330-2080. 239-330-2080. Or check us out online today at kcap925.com. That's kcap925.com.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News. Now, back to Daybreak with Drew Steele.
Hi, Justine. Hello. What is the most important issue your generation is facing today and why?
Our generation is experiencing an
epidemic of censorship and entitlement. And it's because our professors and our celebrities are teaching students to be narcissists, to believe that any view that differs from their own is an existential threat. And this is what I experienced on my own campus with censorship, to the point where people believe that speech is violence so that they can threaten other people with violence simply because they disagree with them.
Very good.
So that's a Miss New Jersey competitor who blasted Orwellian campus censorship in her fiery speech there on stage in a Miss New Jersey. It's like, that's not what we were expecting. That's brilliant. Oh man, there's more. I'll play more of that coming up later on. It's good stuff. All right, some school issues. Collier County, CRT in our schools. Brendan Leslie is going to join us in a few minutes. Investigating some of the things that are happening here in Southwest Florida. Get ready. On the way.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
Pandemic, market drops, elections. Don't let the noise and fear distract you. Where do you go for clarity in uncertain times? I'm Alfie Townsend, Southwest Florida's financial planner. For experience, advice on planning for retirement, visit savingtheinvestor.com.
This is State Representative Spencer Roach with an update on critical race theory, the latest attempt by the left to divide our country along racial lines by teaching kids to hate their country, hate themselves, and hate each other. It's total bullshit, and it's being promoted by leftist race baiters, peddled by the teachers union, and pushed into student textbooks. But on June 10th, Florida's Board of Education voted to ban critical race theory from being taught in public school classrooms, and you have my word that I'll file legislation to give this ban the force of law. I'm going to fight this state-sanctioned racism in every classroom, every courtroom, and every corner of the great state of Florida, because our children deserve nothing less. This is Spencer Roach, and I'm proud to be an American patriot, because we are the good guys. Thanks for listening. Stay tuned, stay engaged, and never give up, never give in, never back down, and never forget that this is your government and they work for you. Sponsored by Friends of Spencer Roach, P.O. Box 3179, North Fort Myers, Florida, 33918.
Fox News listeners, Saturday morning is the perfect time to talk boats and water fun in Southwest Florida. This is Adam Botana again from Baywater Sousa Boat Club. Join us every Saturday morning from 7 to 8 for the Baywater Boat Club Hour. We talk boats, fishing, boating hotspots, water quality, on top of Jake the Millennial and I just having fun on the radio. And if you don't have a boat, Baywater Sousa Boat Club has got you covered. Just call me, Adam, at 239-495-0455. Collier County residents, are you prepared for hurricane season? Get ready by bringing hazardous waste to a recycling drop-off center. Hurricane season has arrived, and the Solid and Hazardous Waste Management Division is here to help you prepare. Protect your home, family, and the environment from dangerous hazardous waste. Bring items like paint, gasoline, and batteries to a recycling center for environmentally safe disposal. Be prepared by cleaning out your home, yard, and garage. Bring items like propane tanks, oil, and electronics to a recycling center near you. Visit one of Collier County's recycling centers located in Naples, Marco Island, North Collier, northeast of Immokalee, and at the landfill. Recycling centers are open Monday to Saturday from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. While you can drop off most items for free, small fees may apply for certain items. For more information on our rates and material accepted, visit colliercountyfl.gov/recycles or call 252-7575. That's 252-7575. Be prepared for hurricane season by bringing your hazardous waste to a recycling center near you.
When you went car shopping, you meant business. You aced vehicle history searches and test drives. Now you've got your wheels. If you manage that, you can get your retirement plan on track. Visiting aceyourretirement.org can help. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
The Democrats' voting rights and election reform bill is blocked by Republicans in the Senate voting against starting debate. Majority Leader Chuck Schumer.
This vote, I'm ashamed to say, is further evidence that voter suppression has become part of the official platform of the Republican Party.
This was a victory for the Angels. This bill was written and held by the devil himself.
Utah Republican Senator Mike Lee with Fox's Sean Hannity. Dozens of Houston hospital workers give up their jobs rather than get vaccinated for coronavirus.
A spokesperson for Houston Methodist Hospital System says 153 employees who refused to get vaccinated against COVID-19 resigned during a 2-week suspension period or were fired. Most of those employees filed a lawsuit challenging the vaccine requirement, but a judge threw the case out earlier this month, telling them to look for work elsewhere if they don't like the requirement. The plaintiffs have already appealed the ruling.
Fox's Steve Rappaport. America's listening to Fox News.
This break is sponsored by Cornerstone Builders. Give us the opportunity to wow you.
Wink News, traffic.
Good Wednesday morning. We're keeping an eye on a vehicle fire along I-75 northbound at mile marker 138 near the exit to State Road 82. So watch out for some activity out there. Not tracking any delays with that nearby, though. Also have a crash I'm watching in Lehigh at Leonard Boulevard South and Noble Avenue South, right near the golf course out there at the entrance. So just watch out for some activity. No roadblock, no injuries, though. Looking good along State Road 82 and no problems right now on Daniels. Just some slight delays going right through Tree Line and I-75. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Well, happy Wednesday, Southwest Florida. Look for a higher chance for thunderstorms for today, with more of us seeing a chance for rain, storms, particularly for the afternoon, with temperatures back to near 91 for high. Heat index values, thanks to the humidity, will range between 97 to 103 degrees. Temperatures only falling into the middle 70s as we wake up on your Thursday morning. A high near 90 for your Thursday afternoon, with additional chances for scattered storms as we head through the remainder of the work week. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
92.5 Fox News, making Southwest Florida great every day. 92.5 Fox News.
Imagine replacing your old kitchen with the kitchen of your dreams. Brand new custom-made cabinet doors. Drawer fronts, hand-finished by true craftsmen. Designer hardware, new hinges, and everything installed beautifully in less than a week, start to finish. Expensive? No. To the contrary, with refacing by Cornerstone, you'll save so much, we should really talk about your master bathroom too. Go for wow. Go for Cornerstone.
Why would someone take a chance on purchasing a frameless shower door from a big box store or an online discounter of an obscure brand, and then try and find a licensed, qualified installer to put it in, when you can deal directly with a local, family-owned business that consults, measures, manufactures, and installs their own award-winning brand of shower doors? My Shower Door is a family-owned and operated business and has the highest ratings on Angie's List and Home Advisor. Want to see more? Go to myshowerdoor.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-1712. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-1712. That's 800-575-1712. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Manufactured in the USA, Plantation Shutters for You is the best choice for plantation shutters. Custom measured and installed just for you. Built to last forever. They will not be undersold. Start with a free consultation. PlantationShuttersForYou.com. And God bless everyone.
Hey, this is Papa, reporting that we're still getting a lot of calls from homeowners who were told they needed a new re-roof after Irma. Most of these folks had a few broken tiles that are obsolete. Our company has 2 warehouses filled with the older obsolete tiles that have never been used. If you think that you may not need a new re-roof, but only need to replace some obsolete tile, please call me for our free tile roof inspection. We may be able to repair and seal your roof to make it look new and beautiful, a lot cheaper than replacing the entire roof. If you call me for our free inspection, we'll place you on our proactive list. And in the event of another hurricane, you won't have to go searching for a contractor because we will automatically call you to see if you need assistance. Let me show you how we can clean and seal and protect your roof, pavers, and pool decks. On behalf of my sons, Casey, Carrie, and Cody, call us at 945-2700. That's 945-2700, area code 239-945-2700. We're open 24/7, and you can call us right now for a free tile roof inspection.
License number CCC 1326213.
We'll buy your car today, on the spot, and pay you $500 more than anyone else. It's the ultimate buyback event at Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral. 4 days only.
Market conditions and a record month have caused a massive demand for your used vehicle, allowing Sutherland to pay more than ever for trade-ins. Up to 130% book value and $500 more than any other written offer. No purchase necessary. Sutherland Nissan will buy your car outright. You don't need to buy one of our cars. Bring your vehicle to Sutherland and get paid up to 130% value today. Hurry, this event ends 7 p.m. Sunday. It's the ultimate buyback event at Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral. Nobody in Florida pays you more for your old car than Sutherland. Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and the all-new Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral, your used car megastore. Online at flnissan.com. If you don't shop Sutherland, you'll pay too much.
See dealer for details.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
239-479-5592, the talk and text line, streaming live, drewsteele.com. That's the website. Steele has 3 E's anytime you want to watch. We do appreciate it. Coming up, we'll have a little bit of fun at 7:50. It's Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. So that is on the way. All right, he's known as Florida's conservative journalist. The website is floridasconservativevoice.com. That would be flconservativevoice.com. And being joined this morning by Brendan Leslie. He's the founder and editor-in-chief there. And there's a lot to talk about. First of all, good morning, Brendan. How are you, my friend?
Doing well, Drew. How are you?
You know, we're doing all right. I'm glad you got up early with us because there's a lot to dig into. I hope you're ready. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it, he says. All right, so let's start with this. Look, everybody knows it. We've all had the issue brought up. We've talked about it on this program. It's a national issue for a reason, critical race theory, CRT. So what have you learned, maybe not only in specific schools, but maybe even across the area, Lee County, Collier County? Kind of give us an idea of what you've been checking out here locally and what you found out.
Yeah, we have a lot of issues here in Southwest Florida. We'll kick things off in Babcock Ranch. I dropped a bombshell report on Monday, which you can find on flconservativevoice.com. And we essentially saw a ton of comments from the principal, Shannon Treese, on Facebook, Twitter, just basically saying she is committed, quote, committed to teaching about the, quote, unwritten history and systemic racism in our nation to the students. And that right there is critical race theory in a nutshell. It's teaching students that all people of color are oppressed and then all white people are racist and they're suppressing them. So we dropped the report. We gave her a good amount of time to talk about her comments with us before we even dropped the report. She deliberately ignored us and didn't give us any sort of comment. And right after I dropped the report, about 10 minutes after, she went and deleted her Twitter. And I'm curious, I wonder, my first question is, did you delete that Twitter because now that you have attention on yourself, you don't want to hear, you don't want more people to find more evidence of your liberal indoctrination agenda? That's my first question. But mainly just why won't you man up essentially and discuss what you are already openly discussing in the public? So there's a lot of strife in the community in Babcock Ranch about this. A lot of parents are against it. A petition started right after my article released about to have her resign. I believe that's approaching 200 signatures last time I checked, and that's a small community. So 200 signatures in 24 hours, that's pretty quick turnaround there.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing, as you may know, of Babcock Ranch is there's really no other schools in the area that parents can send their kids to. So they're kind of stuck with going to the neighborhood school there. And it's a charter school, so they have a looser leash than the public schools. So really, the principal has a lot more power than a normal principal at a normal school.
Yeah.
So that's an issue.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you. So a couple of questions that come up immediately, particularly with this school. So the first thing is there evidence of some of what you're talking about? I mean, physical evidence, something you can see that would prove or show what you've been discussing in this article.
I am talking with whistleblowers at this moment, and we are hoping to get that. A lot of people are scared. I can tell you I've spoken to at least a half a dozen people that are actually physically scared to come forward to me and give me evidence about this. So working on that. Right now we have all her comments about how she is teaching.
So is this on like Facebook, or this is on her on what on her
Facebook,
social media
Twitter,
accounts?
and
Okay.
then Facebook, Twitter, and we got access to one of her personal emails.
Yeah. And what about the board? Have you heard anything from the BNS board? I mean, or like, have they said even teachers? Nobody's come forward, or nobody said anything specifically about the concerns that they have? Because obviously, you brought this up, and it's one of the things that I've talked about on this show. And one of the concerns I have is that when you have a charter school, like you said, the loosening of the leash, if you will, the ability to do things. Where a board like a Lee County School Board or Charlotte County School Board will look and say, listen, there's nothing we can do. They have their own board. There's nothing that we can do to stop any of this or call attention to it. And so ultimately there are people that have realized, unfortunately, and I might say on the left or leftist ideologies that say, hey, we just discovered this about charters, where charters have come forward and really have been an alternative in communities for the public school system as it's been known, and this way of teaching a curriculum in a different way, whether it may be something that has to do with different ideas of liberty and freedom and ways to teach. The left has discovered, Brendan, that it also works for them in the opposite, that because of the issues of not being able to do anything of a board, necessarily, that it is dependent upon the parents. It is dependent upon that BNS board to do something about it and to call attention, right?
Yeah, you hit it right on the head. As great as charters can be, they can also be the devil for us. There's just a lot more leeway there. The problem is, though, with this community is 63% of Babcock Ranch went for Trump in the 2020 election. So clearly that's a conservative community, and those are the values that they should be upholding. Just for so long, they haven't had a voice, it appears. The parents keep telling me they felt voiceless. Wink News, NBC, Fox 4, all of them have just been ignoring them. They said they've been reaching out, and I was the first kind of media outlet to go ahead and report that. And when you feel voiceless and there's no pressure and there's no accountability, the principal and the board can do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah, and when it's the only school that you can go to, that's the other issue as well. There's no other, there's no other choice. So I'm assuming, the closest school. How close is the closest place that community can go?
I believe about 40 minutes one way. So that's asking a lot of a parent to drive their kid, take about an hour and a half to 2 hours out of their day to school.
Yeah, so if you want to find out more about this story specifically and you want to get into more detail, and there is evidence there. I'm looking at the article. There is the evidence of social media and the like, and some of the things that have been said. You can go to flconservativevoice.com. That's flconservativevoice.com. Brendan Leslie joining us on Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News from Florida's Conservative Voice. All right, Collier County. Let's bring this up because Collier County had an issue with textbooks. And what about this story, and what did you find out?
First, I just want to give a quick shout out to Alfie Oaks, Dan Cook of Part-Time Patriot Project. Those guys have been working day and night to fight back against the liberal indoctrination down there in Collier County. And they recently, about 3 weeks ago at the school board meeting, they went to oppose the buying of textbooks, $6 million worth of new textbooks. And so the school board ended up postponing the vote because they wanted to see if these textbooks had any critical race theory. And as we know, Governor Ron DeSantis got it banned at the State Department of Education. So they wanted to review them before they purchased them. Well, a week later, they ended up purchasing them for $6 million from a publisher who openly admits on their website. You go right to their website. I always forget the name off the top of my head. You know it. Houghton
Milf. Yeah, it's a hard one to say. Houghton
Mifflin.
Yeah.
So on their website, they are openly talking about and supporting Black Lives Matter. Now, the left is going to be like, well, what's wrong with that? Well, here's what's wrong with that. Black Lives Matter is a Marxist political organization. We're not talking about the actual phrase. We're talking about this organization that pushes Marxism and is a political organization. So when you have that publisher that is openly supporting Black Lives Matter on their website, That is them taking a stance. That is them saying they support critical race theory. And this is why these parents did not want these textbooks. So you know what's going to end up happening is eventually it's going to go to some sort of hearing with the Department of Ed. And I bet you they rescind those textbooks, and then it's $6 million wasted of taxpayer dollars. And then we're going to have to spend another $6 million to get new textbooks. And they're going to have to pay for all the litigation of that hearing. It is a big waste of money. They refuse to listen to the parents, and it's very disheartening what's going on in Collier County.
Yeah, and that's the, again, when you think about these topics, a couple of things come to mind. Number one, you talk about the lawsuits, the legal aspect of all of this. When that has to be paid for, it comes from taxpayer dollars. There's no trees with the money on it that they're shaking out behind the schools and the districts. It doesn't happen that way, I mean, obviously. But the point is that even if you are not someone who has a child in the district, you end up paying for all of this. That's the first thing. The second thing is how the important issue of being at these district meetings is to pressure these school boards to do the right thing when it comes to textbooks, when it comes to critical race theory in specific schools, and to look out for all of this. And, you know, the other thing, too, is when we're talking about what's in the books themselves, and you could even go to, and you're claiming, right, Brendan, that if you go to the Houghton Mifflin website, it does mention Black Lives Matter and their support. Is that right? I mean, you're claiming that. I haven't looked at the website, but you're saying it does.
Yep.
Right. So right there, that should be a red flag when we're talking about what would be in the textbooks. You would imagine that in and of itself would be enough to say, hold on, let's take a look at this. And there have been parents and organizations that have done exactly that, have taken the time to look at it. It's not like the district has to do any work. There are plenty of responsible parents and individuals and organizations. Florida Citizens Alliance comes to mind, and others that are out there and are willing to do the work and get all of that done, right?
Yep. Yeah. We had about a group of 50 parents that reviewed the textbooks, and they said, nope, can't do it. And what's interesting enough is the superintendent, Kamala Patton, told those parents to not take any pictures of the books because of copyright, blah, 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 blah. I think she was doing it to scare them so that they wouldn't send the pictures to me and then blow them up. But, you know, let's take everything out for a second. Mm-hmm. Forget about the Black Lives Matter thing. If the parents say they don't want you to spend this money on this company, regardless of the reason, why are you not listening? I really hope the Collier County School Board members are listening to this interview. Why are you not listening to the people who elected you into office? That's the big problem here. You haven't had one parent come into that school board meeting and say, yep, I support these textbooks. They've had dozens and dozens, if not hundreds, week in and week out saying they do not want these textbooks. And yet, they went ahead and bought them anyway.
Well, they don't listen. And that's why it's important that you are there putting pressure on the board. If you're talking about schools and school districts and even specific schools like Babcock Ranch was mentioned, and putting pressure on making change in that school as well, is to be there and to show up. And to also make sure you go to the website, flconservativevoice.com. You can find out more about the Collier County story, about the textbooks. You can also find out more about the Babcock Ranch story. It's right there at flconservativevoice.com. All right, before we go quickly, I know you wanted to talk about this because there's always the issue of water quality in Southwest Florida. There's always the issue of what's going on with algae in the lake, in Lake O, and some of the concerns that people have about it and how they go after it. I'm assuming you did a report on this, or you're getting ready to do a report on this. What's going on? You had something to say about, who is it, about captains?
Yeah, I got a lot of issues with Captains for Clean Water, Everglades Foundation, all these really big nonprofits that rake in a lot of money, millions every single year in donations. They're not really covering the real issues. They're only covering the issues that they can make money off of to pay their high salaries and get all their fancy new toys that they get. So essentially, when it comes to Captains for Clean Water, they sound great on the exterior. They want to clean up the water, and they want to eliminate discharges to the West Coast. Sounds all fun and dandy, but the problem is they only talk about water quality issues. And I've been reporting about this consistently for 2 years now, and there's a bunch of reports on flconservativevoice.com that you can see about this. they only talk about the issues that have to do with Lake Okeechobee, because when they do that, they can demonize the farmers south of the lake because, they're saying is send the water south. Well, that's scientifically impossible to send all the water south. And that's a big piece of misinformation that they push out there purposely for the public to eat up, so that they hate these farmers and they buy into their lies and give them more money. And this is something I've been talking about a lot. You really got to be careful with this. So my biggest example is we've had a lot of water issues here and locally in Fort Myers and happening on the other coast as well. I mean, there's a river, I think it's Dead River, it's called, in Lake County, that was unswimmable. The Department of Health said, don't swim in there. You're literally going to get sick. And then over here locally in Matlacha, recently in the past few weeks, we've had algae. Well, the thing is, we haven't had any discharges, massive discharges that can be the blame for this. So where is Captains for Clean Water? Where was Captains for Clean Water when Billy's Creek right here in Fort Myers, right outside your studio in downtown Fort Myers, was unswimmable, when they're pumping all this sewer water into the Caloosahatchee River? Where's Captains for Clean Water for all of that? And you can't claim to be a champion of something, but only talk about the issues that fit your political agenda.
All right, if you want to find out more, go to flconservativevoice.com. That's flconservativevoice.com. It is Florida's conservative voice, and that is the founder and editor-in-chief right there, Brendan Leslie, joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. He's known as Florida's conservative journalist. And all right, well, why don't we do this again next week? We'll keep an eye on all these stories and more. Okay, Brendan, I appreciate it.
Appreciate it. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, we'll see you then. All right, 239-479-5592, the talk and text line, streaming live. DrewSteele.com is the website. Steele has 3 E's. We appreciate you always watching. Let's do it right now. Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. We'll take caller number... Well, let's do caller 9 today. It's been a lot. Caller number 9 at 239-479-5592. Drew's College. You'll win. You'll play. Up next, Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along with traffic. Here's Therese O'Shea.
Good Wednesday morning. Keeping an eye on a crash off to the side of I-75 northbound at mile marker 146, a few miles north of the exit to Bayshore Road. Not blocking anything. It's on the right-hand shoulder there. Just watch out for some flashing lights nearby. Looking clear right now along 75 in the rest of Lee County. Not seeing any problems out across Collier. Just a little busy close to the Collier-Lee County line. If you're heading out right now through Lehigh, a disabled vehicle at Lee Boulevard and Sunshine Boulevard, and our Midpoint Bridge commute slowing down eastbound out of Cape Coral right now. You'll see some slowdowns as well if you're heading through the Cape Coral Bridge, mostly right at the intersection of McGregor once you get into Fort Myers. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Look for a better chance for thunderstorms today as we head into particularly the afternoon. Highs back to near 91 degrees with heat index values range between 97 to 103 degrees. Heading into tonight, storms wind down. Temperatures fall into the middle 70s with a high near 90 for your Thursday. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
Inside the train testing facility, our heating and cooling products go through endless torture tests to ensure they can run through anything. And when we say torture, we don't take that lightly. We drop them, slam them against the wall, shake them, and then expect them to run without an extra decibel in our anechoic sound chamber. Without fail. Drop, slam, shake, silence. Drop, slam, shake, silence. And there's no end in sight. We test, so it runs.
Things are heating up, and you may notice that old AC system just isn't keeping up like it used to. It's time for you to get the Purified experience. Visit purifiedac.com to get special financing on a new system installation. Subject to credit approval, see dealer for details. Purified Air also offers free estimates and 24/7 emergency service so you can have the Purified experience when you need it the most. Visit purifiedac.com to get the Purified experience for yourself. That's purifiedac.com, license number CAC 1817070.
It's hard to stop a train.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. Had a chance to visit A Locksmith, their showroom in North Naples. And Andrew is the owner. He is a fantastic guy. Get a chance to talk to him. He's a former police officer and an expert on home security. Maybe you have some needs like a safe, a Liberty Safe. They are the only Liberty Safe dealer in Collier County. And I don't know if you know, but A Locksmith is the oldest locksmith in Collier County and comes with a stellar reputation for professional quality and service. Their staff licensed, bonded, and insured and available. And 100% satisfaction is always guaranteed. Their employees are great. No contractors. They have all their employees there, and they are always professional, on time, serving Collier and Southern Lee counties. So if you're looking for your next Liberty Safe, you want to go to A Locksmith. They have 2 Naples showroom, one in North Naples, across from Mercado, and one in the city of Naples, just north of Mooring Line Drive on US 41. Or if you want to find out more, visit alocksmithnaples.com.
92.5 Fox News. Right in our judicial beliefs. Right in support of our Constitution. Right to be patriotic and to love our country. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Summer deals, Marty.
Oh, what you got on sale there, Marty man?
Everything.
Well, over at Victory Lane Chevrolet, they're overstocked with buybacks.
What's a buyback?
Well, Victory Lane buys back your trade-in no matter how many miles on it. So buyers can just drive to Fowler and Winkler and get more for their trade. And new Chevys for thousands below MSRP.
Thousands for less?
That's right, Marty. Get more for your trade and new Chevys for less at Victory Lane. Bet you can't say that twice.
Hey, I can do it. No problem. And get more for trades and new Chevys for less. More for trades and new Chevys for less. How's that, buddy?
Oh, thanks, Marty. Now your customers know where to go. Your vehicle is worth more than ever before. Cash in now during the big summer buyback event at Victory Lane Chevrolet. New 2021 Silverado 1500s, thousands off MSRP, or choose 0% for 72 months. Find new roads. Online, victorylanechevrolet.com. Offers with group credit. Dealer retains all rebates. Offers cannot be combined. Expire 6/30.
Got mold?
In your house?
What do I do now?
Call 239-936-1033.
Call Fire Service, your disaster response friends.
NCH Heart Institute is home to the most experienced and most dedicated team of physicians and nurses in Southwest Florida. Over the past 30 years, NCH Heart Institute has mastered the quality, the care, and the holistic patient experience that can only be found within a nationally ranked heart institute. Caring for a patient, mind, heart, and body. That's the cornerstone of our critical care team, which ranks in the top 2% of all hospitals in America. NCH Heart Institute, at the heart of what matters most.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. You know the real estate market's really hot right now, but for how long? Well, nobody really knows. If people don't catch up on their mortgage payments because of COVID, the market's going to get flooded with foreclosure inventory, and that's scary because your home's value could plummet. So if you thought about selling your home for a premium price, now's the time to do it. But you don't want to make any costly mistakes. That's why you need to get with Anthony Gomes from GomesMovesHomes.com. See, he's been buying, selling, brokering, and investing in real estate for over 20 years. Mistakes in real estate can cost you tens of thousands of dollars. Anthony wrote a book on how to sell homes, your home, and for the most money. And he wants to ship it to you for free. Just go to GomesMovesHomes.com and tell him where you want to send it. Inside, you'll gain 20 years of secrets from wealthy home sellers on how you can sell for a premium price without doing repairs, letting strangers go through your home, and you could pick the closing date. Go to GomesMovesHomes.com. Again, GomesMovesHomes.com.
Searching everywhere for great prices on appliances? No, you're not, because you have better things to do. Besides, Good Deals has it for less, and they have plenty of items in stock despite shortages everywhere else. Remember, Good Deals guarantees the lowest price on everything they sell. Find a lower price anywhere, and Jay will beat it. Guaranteed. Visit one of the showrooms in Fort Myers, Naples, and Cape Coral, or shop online at GoodDealsAppliances.com.
Good Deals Appliances. Have we got a deal for you?
Lusk, Drasites, and Tulisano believes winning cases is no accident. Your case is important. Pick a firm with resources to actually prosecute your case. If your case is accepted, you're guaranteed to not pay a single penny in fees or costs unless you get a favorable settlement or verdict. Lusk, Drasites, and Tulisano has over 35 years of experience handling personal injury cases in Florida. Visit LDTlaw.com for a free consultation today. Winning is no accident. Lusk, Drasites, and Tulisano. LDTlaw.com.
He's ready to fight crime. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Biden is going to take action amid a rise in crime across America. Republicans have made a big issue of. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live at the White House.
Dave, the president is set to sign crime-fighting executive orders and renew calls for Congress to pass gun legislation.
To ensure there is appropriate funding and resources needed to ensure there's community policing.
White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki says President Biden will use the bully pulpit to push for gun safety. At the same time, the Justice Department is announcing new strike forces aimed at tackling gun trafficking in 5 cities: Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Washington, D.C. The president president will meet with Attorney General Merrick Garland and local leaders ahead of his remarks. Dave?
Rachel, further on doing another Trump policy, the Biden administration will allow 10,000 migrants forced to remain in Mexico to reapply for asylum here amid an ongoing surge at the border.
The Rio Grande Valley patrol chief saying, quote, with 3 months remaining in the fiscal year, RGV has already matched the total number of large groups apprehended in the previous 2 fiscal years combined.
Fox's Marianne Rafferty, a stalemate at the Senate. Republicans have blocked the Democrats' election reform plan. Majority Leader Chuck Schumer.
This vote, I'm ashamed to say, is further evidence that voter suppression has become part of the official platform of the Republican Party.
But Minority Leader Mitch McConnell fires back.
Biggest lie being told in American politics in recent weeks has been that the states are involved in a systematic effort to suppress the vote.
The CDC holds a meeting today to probe possible COVID vaccine side effects, mostly in younger males, heart inflammation. The day after White House COVID response coordinator Jeff Zients said,
many younger Americans have felt like COVID-19 is not something that impacts them, and they've been less eager to get the shot.
America's listening to Fox News.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 8 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
Wink News, traffic.
Good Wednesday morning. Keeping an eye on a crash off to the side of I-75 northbound at mile marker 146, a few miles north of the exit to Bayshore Road. Not blocking anything. It's on the right-hand shoulder there. Just watch out for some flashing lights nearby. Looking clear right now along 75. In the rest of Lee County, not seeing any problems out across Collier, just a little busy close to the Collier-Lee County line. If you're heading out right now through Lehigh, a disabled vehicle at Lee Boulevard and Sunshine Boulevard, and our Midpoint Bridge commute slowing down eastbound out of Cape Coral right now. You'll see some slowdowns as well if you're heading through the Cape Coral Bridge, mostly right at the intersection of McGregor once you get into Fort Myers. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Well, happy Wednesday, Southwest Florida. Look for a higher chance for thunderstorms for today, with more of us seeing a chance for rain, storms, particularly for the afternoon, with temperatures back to near 91 for high. Heat index values, thanks to the humidity, will range between 97 to 103 degrees. Temperatures only falling into the middle 70s as we wake up on your Thursday morning. A high near 90 for your Thursday afternoon, with additional chances for scattered storms as we head through the remainder of the work week. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
It's not the Republican Party versus the Democrat Party.
Talking about what matters.
It's the Republican Party versus an organized crime syndicate.
92.5 Fox News.
Everyone understands that when you buy more, you should pay less. It's called a volume discount. Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window, and we would like to make and install your windows. New South offers volume discounts for homeowners. The more you buy, the more you save. Our discounts start at the 4th window, and from there, the savings grow. New South can do this because we own our factory, and that's the power of Factory Direct. Award-winning, energy-efficient windows that will save you money and protect your home. Our windows are made in Florida, for Florida homes, by Florida workers, and we guarantee them for life. Visit us at newsouthwindow.com.
Every day in business is a big day. Whatever your day brings, Comcast Business can help you handle it with reliable gig speeds and advanced cybersecurity solutions. Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Restrictions apply. Actual speeds vary. Call for details.
Hi, I'm Keith, the owner of Storm Shield Windows and Doors in North Fort Myers. And when it comes to hurricane windows and doors, you have 2 choices: Storm Shield and all the rest.
The aesthetics of the appearance from the outside and the inside is just amazing. But it's quiet. It's really quiet inside, and it's made a huge difference in our energy consumption. My name is Dee Channel, and I have 100% confidence in Storm Shield products. On a scale of 1 to 10, they'd be 10 plus.
Yes, my name is Dwayne Channel. My wife and I made a decision to replace our windows. Storm Shield windows, they were the only company that had the hurricane windows that we were looking for. Our best decision we made was purchasing Storm Shield windows.
Storm Shield Windows and Doors reduce the exterior noise by up to 80%. And our clients typically see an average energy savings of 40%. Why choose Storm Shield? Because everyone deserves the best. Call us today at 239-491-7002 or visit stormshieldSWFL.com.
Ever purchased an online item and either it doesn't fit, has missing parts, or became damaged? Trying to save a few bucks can end up costing more. My Shower Door is a locally owned and operated family business that measures, manufactures, and installs our own brand of frameless shower doors right here in Southwest Florida. And we were just named Lee County's Manufacturer of the Year. With almost 80,000 shower doors installed, we have the experience and expertise. Plus, estimates are always free. Want to see more? Go to myshowerdoor.com.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592, the talk and text line. We stream live. DrewSteele.com is the website. Steele has 3 E's if you'd like to watch this program. You know, a lot of important Supreme Court decisions wrapping up the current term. There's still a few more to go. And some of those recent decisions, I wanted to talk about the ACA decision and the one on religious freedom. Certainly the NCAA compensating athletes. Get to all of that right now with Jim Copeland, who's joining us. He's a senior fellow, director of legal policy research at the Manhattan Institute, and we do appreciate a few minutes of his time. It's Drew Steele. How are you, sir?
I am good. Thanks for having me.
Well, I appreciate you being here. So get right into it. A couple of things that I wanted to ask, because, you know, obviously a lot of the analysis, it seems like it's kind of surface when you talk about the media and how quickly stories turn these days. So just wanted to get into some of the, a little more detail. When it comes to the ACA decision, I wanted you to talk about this for a second, because the decision really addressed some of the constitutionality of the individual mandate, or maybe the law necessarily in its entirety. And the reason why I say it like that is because even though we're told that there it is, the ACA, it's upheld once again, everything is good, it could be something that we could revisit again in the future, right?
Well, I'd never say never. I just think that this case, to be clear, the court majority there, and it was a 7-2 majority, didn't consider the merits of the challenge to the ACA at all. It was solely predicated on what's called standing doctrine. In other words, was there an actual injury that let the plaintiffs into court? And the case here was a challenge to the Affordable Care Act. Of course, the first of 3 Obamacare ACA cases to get to the Supreme Court famously was saved by Chief Justice Roberts' construction of the penalty for failing to have insurance under the statute as a tax. And because Congress zeroed that penalty down to 0, the argument was that that meant the whole statute was going to fall. Most of us who were legal observers never thought that was plausibly going to be the actual outcome. Congress can change its own laws, and the rest of the law, Congress obviously didn't repeal when they had the opportunity to do so, but they didn't think that it was necessarily going to fall by zeroing that tax out. But none of that really was in front of the court. The basic point was here, well, if people aren't paying a tax, they don't really get penalized by violating this provision, so they don't have a live controversy in front of the court to begin with. So could Obamacare come back? Sure, in lots of formulations, but I think this challenge is going to be a hard one to bring based on the way the 7 justices viewed standing relatively narrowly.
Yeah, and you know there's kind of like a thread that's running through all of this that I'm going to get to in just a second, and it has to do with the makeup of the court, and even with the Chief Justice, and something that you did mention. There seems to be a thread running through all of this, even with the case with the unanimous decision of the court striking down the ban on the religious groups operating foster care services according to their faith, as it's been looked at. I wanted you to comment on this and maybe get into more detail, because it does take me back to something that I'm going to ask you about, which also has to do with another religious case that's looking like we're going to hear more about it, which is the Masterpiece Cake Shop issue again, because of something that was kind of left on the table. It really wasn't decided at the time, but this one seems to be one that, because of its unanimity, fair to say that this is something that could set some standing?
I would argue no. I think it's the same basically as Masterpiece Cake Shop, okay. And I wrote on this last Friday after the decision came out. The basic reason is here, the unanimity of the court masks the fact that it was decided quite narrowly. So in Masterpiece Cake Shop, why is that baker right back in court in Colorado? Because the Supreme Court decided it not with a clear change in the religious liberty standard, which gives the government currently, under the current standard, gives the government a lot of degrees of freedom in a generally applicable law to infringe on religious liberty as a constitutional matter. But rather than doing that, they focused on some insensitive comments made by members of the commission, and they said it was driven by prejudice or animus, and resolved it on those grounds, which means they can go back and bring another case. Here, they resolved it on idiosyncrasies of the public accommodation law in Philadelphia and the contract between Philadelphia and Catholic Social Services. And what that means is that with tweaks to that contract or changes in that ordinance, or how the courts in Pennsylvania interpret that ordinance, Catholic Social Services could also wind up right back in court. And so the reason it was unanimous is the court basically dodged the big question of what is our religious liberty doctrine? Do we need to rethink it? And three of the justices in concurrence, Gorsuch, Alito, and Thomas, said they should resolve that now, and that this case was the right vehicle. The other justices said, no, we can resolve it on this narrower ground. That said, I do think there are signals in the case that the religious liberty doctrine is going to be rethought, and that's because the new justice, Amy Coney Barrett, wrote separately for herself, joined by Brett Kavanaugh and joined in part by Democrat appointee Stephen Breyer, and said, we think that this case from 30 years ago looks wrong based on our doctrine, but we don't know exactly what should come in its place. And so we don't know what the actual line drawing will look like when the Supreme Court finally takes this up, but I do think it's fair to say that a majority of the current court will come down with some sort of standard that gives religious liberty a bit more beef and heft constitutionally against state and federal government.
Yeah, because Justice Thomas kind of predicted that this was going to happen. Be careful here, because we're going to revisit this 2018 case again. And that's kind of the thread that I wanted to ask you about. And if you see what it is that I've been talking about, which is it feels like on these very big cases, that it feels like there's this thread that runs through where it's basically the court kind of hands off. And I don't mean hands off in a good way, like people would like to see the Supreme Court. They're not the arbiter of everything. They're not the end all be all. It's not like their decisions are the end all be all. It shouldn't be that way. But that they are very hands off, that they kind of nibble around the edges. They never kind of dig in and jump in both feet. Is that fair to say?
I think the justices vary on that, but I certainly think that that's the disposition of the Chief Justice and some of the justices on the court, is to resolve cases as narrowly as possible. And that is a conservative virtue, too. It's important to point out that the Chief Justice's philosophy, and there's people who've written about this and sort of developed this, is to sort of let the court go relatively slowly and to try to let the elected branches, the legislatures and the executive branch, figure this out before you slap them down, whether you're talking about a state or certainly what were called the coordinate branches of the federal government, the president and the Congress. Before you slap them down in general, let them figure it out. And if you can resolve a case more narrowly, do that and avoid that sort of branch versus branch showdown. Now, I mean, the Chief Justice isn't averse to some, controversy. I mean, he dissented in Obergefell v. Hodges, the gay marriage decision. He obviously authored the voting rights decision in Shelby that's come under fire, and the Citizens United case on free speech. So it's not as if the Chief Justice is averse to coming down with fairly strong pronouncements of law, but I think in general, his inclination is to try to resolve these cases narrowly when possible, and let the cases get relitigated down below, let more opinions come out of the lower court judges for the court to consider, et cetera, and let the elected officials try to sort it out first. The downside for that is if you're a repeat defendant like Jack Phillips at Masterpiece Cake Shop, you keep getting dragged back into court while the court waits. Right.
That has been the one issue, and I think that's what Justice Thomas was talking about, is we're going to keep revisiting. If we don't jump in both feet and make something, a decision here that's definitive, then here we go again. We just keep, it's a revolving door. And then some might say it's almost as if it's this kind of the worry that if we wait too long, then all of a sudden you get to a point where, and maybe this brings up the Justice Breyer retiring issue, is that it's almost as if there might be one side, progressives, that might be like, look, this is a good thing. Because ultimately, if you flip the court and you get a court that's more political than might be objective and be able to look at everything the way that we've just discussed, then ultimately you can have things that should be more concrete and should have been solved before now become political by political pressure being put on the court. And that's a big fear, I would say.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, realize that for the first century plus of the Supreme Court's existence, it almost never struck down statutes by the elected branches. And I think it would be a good thing if the elected branches respected the constitutional structure and the constitutional rights more and took the Constitution seriously, and we didn't look to the court to resolve all these sorts of things. Right. That may be wishful thinking, but the fact that the court is such an important referee, as the Chief Justice likes to call the court, of so many of these hot-button disputes is doubtless why we have such a crazy judicial confirmation process for the justices in the first place.
Before we go, I might ask this question. We've got some big decisions coming up, the voting restrictions, Arizona, and free speech with that high school cheerleader, the social media post, and a pretty interesting case. How do you see those cases going?
Well, these may be somewhat more fractured, right? I mean, the reason why they're coming after some of these cases that have gotten a little more of the headline is likely that there's going to be more division. I don't know exactly how the court will come down with student speech rights off campus. It's going to be interesting to see. I do think the court is likely to, I think, in a divided court, a majority of the court's going to stand up for free speech, free association rights when it comes to donor privacy. The voting rights case will be interesting. I think at the end of the day, the court won't please fully the left or right in that decision. And then, I'm still following some interesting administrative state cases, a class action case on no damages class action. So there's a lot still left on the docket. It's just some of these really top headline cases came down without a huge division in the court, which is why they came down a little in front of some of these other cases.
All right. Well, I would love to do this again. This was fantastic. Jim Copeland joining us on Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News, Senior Fellow Director of Legal Policy Research at the Manhattan Institute, talking about these SCOTUS cases. And maybe we can have you back. We could talk about those other cases that are still to come. We'd love to do that. We appreciate a few minutes of your time today, sir. Thanks so much.
Be happy to come back anytime. Thanks.
All right. Thanks. Yeah, some interesting cases, but I'm sorry, it's hard for me to believe as we get ready to go to break right now, Jake, that when you talk about the Stephen Breyer retirement, as progressives are urging Biden to nominate a replacement and start to push that issue, that if you start to nibble and you continue to nibble around the edges, the court does, that what happens is you have the progressives being able to push something like a Breyer retirement and trying to get justices that will be in there that will not look at the Constitution and rule of law, but will try to legislate from the bench. And in which case, cases that should have been decided before, like Justice Thomas talked about, and solidify those decisions, will be quite the opposite. All right, it's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. Let's take a break and find out what's happening with traffic up to the minute. Here's Therese O'Shea.
Good Wednesday morning. Keeping an eye on a crash off to the side of I-75 northbound at mile marker 146, a few miles north of the exit to Bayshore Road. Not blocking anything. It's on the right-hand shoulder there. Just watch out for some flashing lights nearby. Looking clear right now along 75 in the rest of Lee County. Not seeing any problems out across Collier. Just a little busy close to the Collier-Lee County line. If you're heading out right now through Lehigh, a disabled vehicle at Lee Boulevard and Sunshine Boulevard, and our Midpoint Bridge commute slowing down eastbound out of Cape Coral right now. You'll see some slowdowns as well if you're heading through the Cape Coral Bridge, mostly right at the intersection of McGregor once you get into Fort Myers. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Look for a better chance for thunderstorms today as we head into particularly the afternoon. Highs back to near 91 degrees with heat index values range between 97 to 103 degrees. Heading into tonight, storms wind down. Temperatures fall into the middle 70s with a high near 90 for your Thursday. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
Drew Steele in the morning and Trey Radel in the afternoon. 2 doses of what cures liberalism. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
I was in foot pain for 20 years, trying to give it relief, buying all these different insoles. Drugstore insoles, custom insoles. I spent thousands of dollars. I bought all these products, and not a single one worked. I really, truly needed to have relief in my feet. And the Good Feet arch supports were what gave me the relief I needed.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
They wanted to make sure that I got something that my feet felt good in, not somebody else's feet. I love the fact that I can wear these arch supports in all my shoes. I have boots, I have cowboy boots, I have running shoes, I have walking shoes, I have flat shoes, I have heels. It makes me so happy. If you ask my husband, he will crack up because there is no store I would rather go in than a shoe store. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Call 552-FEET or visit us in Naples or our newest store in Fort Myers.
Hi, I'm Ty Laster, Managing Partner and CEO of Key City Capital. So why are we here in Southwest Florida? Well, at KCAP, our mission is to connect capital to wealth for all of our partners through passive real estate investments. And very simply, we generate and distribute double-digit returns for our investors by investing in single-family homes and apartments and unique alternative cash-flowing asset-backed investments.
Call us today at 239-330-2080 or check us out online today at kcap925.com.
Women frequently find themselves at the forefront during life's most challenging times, such as divorce or the loss of a loved one. Making wise, long-term decisions can feel intimidating. At FindMark, we educate women and their partners on managing their financial affairs together. Wise decision-making is essential. We can help. With locations in Naples, Fort Myers, Bonita Springs, and Estero, and online at findmarkbank.com.
For professional roofing, the name you need to know is D.R. Martineau.
Dan Martineau from D.R. Martineau Roofing and Gutters. Get your mind out of the gutters. We are proud to announce the addition of our seamless aluminum gutter division. Contact our team for your free quote. Just Google DRM Roofing.
License number CCC 1326954.
For professional roofing, the name you need to know is D.R. Martineau.
Serving Southwest Florida since 1977. To learn more and schedule an appointment, visit firstclassairconditioning.com.
First Class Air Conditioning. Our name says it all.
Got mold?
In your house?
What do I do now?
Call 239-936-1033.
Call Fire Service, your disaster response friend.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
All right, 239-479-5592. Hey, can I get more audio from that, the Miss New Jersey pageant? And how she went after woke and censorship and... Yeah, play some more of that audio.
And now your social impact pitch.
Free speech. It is listed first under the Bill of Rights for a reason. Without it, all other liberties crumble. But today, we're watching free speech get hammered to the ground by the very institutions that are supposed to promote diversity of thought. Let me ask you something. Are you a student? Are you a teacher? Are you a professor? The mere words, "I'm offended," are now being used as an excuse to silence students, fire professors, and cancel people simply because they do not toe the popular line of thought. And that's what I experienced. An Orwellian phenomenon dominating my own campus to the point where it got borderline violent. But through the Miss America organization, I will promote Miss New Jersey as Miss New Jersey by empowering the voices of young women who are not afraid to stand up for what they believe in and become a voice to be reckoned with.
Woo! Woo! How about that? You get the impression that they weren't ready for that? That's good stuff right there. So, Miss New Jersey, telling it like it is. Oh, man, that's some good audio. All right, let's see. What other good audio do we have? Do we have any good audio? We got some not so good audio. I don't know. Where could we... I wanted to tell you about this story. I might have to get into it in detail either after the break or tomorrow. But did you hear this? California plans to become an environmental and socialist utopia, right? I mean, this is what everybody aspires to be. This is what AOC says we got to do, right? I mean, it's...
I'm not the expert.
Oh, yeah, okay. Or no, Bernie Sanders says it's what you have to do.
This is what you do.
Actually, it's what you got to do. Well, they're running face first into reality. What's the reality? The state facing triple-digit temperatures began to fret about pressure on the state's power grid as a result of everybody. Guess what? What are they doing, Jake? What are they doing in the state of California right now that everybody's worrying? Too much the power grid, too much going on. What do you think it is? Take a guess. What do you think it is that's pulling too much power from the grid in California? If you had to guess. I can't hear you. You got to turn the mic on. Go ahead. What is it?
AC units.
AC units. Incorrect. Is it Bitcoin mining?
Probably.
No, it's not Bitcoin mining. It's the result of everybody charging their electric vehicles all at once.
That makes sense.
The power grid operators have been saying, stop it. Stop charging your EVs at off-peak hours. You're all doing it at the same time and you're messing us up. They had to put out an alert. Listen, this is the stuff that you kind of gotta loosen up on your charging of your electric vehicle. But wait a minute, this is part of the utopia, right?
I'm not the expert.
That's the problem. Because there's more to it. Yeah, so they're making them do all kinds of... I'm just suggesting that there are some things that are not ready for prime time. And because we are forcing them in... Listen, if you want to do it, if a few people want to do it... But the problem is that when you're forcing it, when you have auto manufacturers that are ditching fossil fuels completely, and it's like, we're going all electric. There's a lot of stuff. The issues of lithium-ion batteries, you realize less than 5% of them are recycled. It's not like they can be. What are you going to do with all of them? Yeah, there's a lot of different issues there. But anyway. All right, top 5 audio clips of the day coming up.
This is Daybreak.
92.5 Fox News.
Inside the train testing facility, our heating and cooling products go through endless torture tests to ensure they can run through anything. And when we say torture, we don't take that lightly. We drop them, slam them against the wall, shake them, and then expect them to run without an extra decibel in our anechoic sound chamber. Without fail. Drop, slam, shake, silence. Drop, slam, shake, silence. And there's no end in sight. We test, so it runs.
Things are heating up, and you may notice that old AC system just isn't keeping up like it used to. It's time for you to get the Purified experience. Visit purifiedac.com to get special financing on a new system installation. Subject to credit approval, see dealer for details. Purified Air also offers free estimates and 24/7 emergency service, so you can have the Purified experience when you need it the most. Visit purifiedac.com to get the Purified experience for yourself. That's purifiedac.com, license number CAC 1817070.
It's hard to stop a train.
NCH Heart Institute is home to the most experienced and most dedicated team of physicians and nurses in Southwest Florida. Over the past 30 years, NCH Heart Institute has mastered the quality, the care, and the holistic patient experience that can only be found within a nationally ranked heart institute. Caring for patient, mind, heart, and body. That's the cornerstone of our critical care team, which ranks in the top 2% of all hospitals in America.
NCH Heart Institute, at the heart of what matters most.
The real estate market is really hot right now, but for how long? I'm Anthony Gomes from GomesMovesHomes.com. You've heard Drew Steele talk about me on his show. If you're thinking about selling your home for a premium price, now is the time. You can sell over market value without doing repairs, letting strangers in your home, and you pick the closing date. Learn how for free. No pressure, no obligation. Go to GomesMovesHomes.com. GomesMovesHomes.com.
Are you looking to have built or repaired a shingle, metal, or tile roof? Do you want to hire a company where the owner personally inspects your job and every job? Hello, I'm Jimmy Williamson of WB Williamson Brothers Roofing. If the answer is yes, 844-WB-BUILT. WB Williamson Brothers Roofing represents the fourth generation of a tradition that began with my grandfather back in 1967. And it's a tradition of building something that you can be proud to put your name on. If you need a quote for the construction or repair of a shingle, metal, or tile roof, call me, Jimmy, 844-WB-BUILT. Or visit us at 2944 South Street in Fort Myers. Williamson Brothers Roofing also specializes in stand and seam metal roofs and commercial flat roofs. Satisfied clients include Florida Gulf Coast University and Pensacola State College. Call Williamson Brothers Roofing at 844-WB-BUILT. That's 844-WB-BUILT. That's 844-WB-BUILT.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. President Biden today announces a new strategy to prevent and respond to gun crime.
The president's proposal is expected to include police reforms, plus ways to keep guns out of the hands of criminals. We're told Mr. Biden will make a series of executive orders and call on Congress to pass gun legislation. The House already passed 2 bills on background checks, but is less likely to get through the Senate.
Fox's Caroline Shively. Former presidential candidate Andrew Yang concedes in the New York City Democratic Party primary for mayor.
I am not going to be the next mayor of New York City based upon the numbers that have come in tonight.
Brooklyn Borough President and former police captain Eric Adams has the lead in the vote count. Radio host and Guardian Angels founder Curtis Sliwa is the projected Republican winner. He says about current mayor, Democrat Bill de Blasio,
he has taken a wrecking ball to this city that we love.
This election uses ranked choice voting, where ballots can be marked with up to 5 candidates in order of preference. America's listening to Fox News.
This update is presented by Stevie Tomatoes Sports Page in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Naples.
Wink News, traffic.
Good Wednesday morning. Keeping an eye on a crash off to the side of I-75 northbound at mile marker 146, a few miles north of the exit to Bayshore Road. Not blocking anything. It's on the right-hand shoulder there. Just watch out for some flashing lights nearby. Looking clear right now along 75. In the rest of Lee County, not seeing any problems out across Collier, just a little busy close to the Collier-Lee County line. If you're heading out right now through Lehigh, a disabled vehicle at Lee Boulevard at Sunshine Boulevard, and our Midpoint Bridge commute slowing down eastbound out of Cape Coral right now. You'll see some slowdowns as well if you're heading through the Cape Coral Bridge, mostly right at the intersection of McGregor once you get into Fort Myers. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Well, happy Wednesday, Southwest Florida. Look for a higher chance for thunderstorms for today, with more of us seeing a chance for rain, storms, particularly for the afternoon, with temperatures back to near 91 for a high. Heat index values, thanks to the humidity, will range between 97 to 103 degrees. Temperatures only falling into the middle 70s as we wake up on your Thursday morning. A high near 90 for your Thursday afternoon, with additional chances for scattered storms as we head through the remainder of the work week. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
There's the left way, and then there's the right way. 92.5 Fox News.
Stevie Tomatoes Sports Page. Come for the food, stay for the sports.
Hi, it's Big Al from Stevie Tomatoes. They say love and passion makes the world go round. Love for home, family, your country, partner, a friend, and love for food. Stevie wants to be part of your love with our food, drink, sports, and fun. Our passion for your satisfaction brings our love to all of our great customers. Whether it's our brisket short rib burgers, Chicago pizza, fajitas, wings, fish fry, or ribs, it's delivered to your table with love. So at Stevie's, we invite you to share our love of great food, drinks, sports, and fun. You'll never get bored or broke. We feel loved by the sound of our great customers. We promise to treat you like family at your home away from home. I guarantee it. For daily specials, go to StevieTomato.com. Stevie Tomatoes Sports Page, Cape Coral, Fort Myers, and Naples. Come, come, come.
Stevie Tomatoes Sports Page. Come for the food, stay for the sports.
Trust. It's the rock-solid foundation of Moran Wealth Management. Over 40 years ago, they began advising clients on ways to help meet their financial goals. 4 decades later, we've helped many reach their goals of providing for themselves, their families, and future generations. CEO Tom Moran has assembled an impressive team of professionals, each committed to the same core concept. Tom is recognized by Barron's as a Hall of Fame advisor. To be named a Hall of Fame advisor, the advisor has to have been ranked by Barron's consecutively for the last 10 years in any of their rankings. Let us earn your trust. Call 239-920-4440 or visit moranwm.com. Barron's rankings are based on data provided by thousands of advisors. Factors included in the rankings were assets under management, revenue produced for the firm, regulatory record, length of service, quality of practice, and client retention. Investment products and services are offered through Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Network, LLC, WFAFN, member SIPC. Moran Wealth Management is a separate entity from WFAFN.
After a car accident, you can feel like you've lost control. I'm Glenn Levine from the law offices of Anajar & Levine. Our team can help you understand your legal options after an accident, We will file your claim and fight for the full compensation you deserve. If you've been involved in a car accident, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation. And take back control of your life.
Offices Fort Myers and Naples.
We'll buy your car today, on the spot, and pay you $500 more than anyone else. It's the ultimate buyback event at Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral. 4 days only. Market conditions and a record month have caused a massive demand for your used vehicle, allowing Sutherland to pay more than ever for trade-ins. Up to 130% book value and $500 more than any other written offer. No purchase necessary. Sutherland Nissan will buy your car outright. You don't need to buy one of our cars. Bring your vehicle to Sutherland and get paid up to 130% value today. Hurry, this event ends 7 p.m. Sunday. It's the ultimate buyback event at Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral. Nobody in Florida pays you more for your old car than Sutherland. Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and the all-new Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral, your used car megastore. Online at flnissan.com. If you don't shop Sutherland, you'll pay too much.
See dealer for details.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
239-479-5592, the talk and text line, drewsteele.com, the website. If you want to watch, you want to listen, you can watch, listen. You can go on your smart device, your smartphone, all made available for you. Also, Facebook and YouTube at Drew Steele Radio. All right, time for the top 5 audio clips of the day. Here we go. It's the 5 at 8:35.
Drew's Top 5 at 8:35 is brought to you by Moran Wealth Management. Isn't it time to review your portfolio options? Go to moranwm.com.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Number 5.
You guys, this is an unlawful arrest. I have a First Amendment right. Listen. You do, right? You're right. Okay, thank you. Here's someone speaking rationally.
Nothing to see here. Everything is fine. Move along. It's just public comment being shut down at the Loudoun County School Board. Applause erupted after the meeting because of some people and some comments that were made. Their concerns about the idea of critical race theory being taught in schools and the concerns about transgenderism being talked about as well, and the parents speaking out. And so they shut down the public comment. Oh, and then somebody else getting arrested. 2 people, as a matter of fact. But nothing to see here. Move along. No, it's not something to move along from. Parents are taking back their schools. They're ready to do it, and they're ready to do it now.
Number 4.
Hi, Justine.
Hello.
What is the most important issue your generation is facing today, and why?
Our generation is experiencing an epidemic of censorship and entitlement. And it's because our professors and our celebrities are teaching students to be narcissists, to believe that any view that differs from their own is an existential threat. And this is what I experienced on my own campus with censorship, to the point where people believe that speech is violence so that they can threaten other people with violence simply because they disagree with them.
Very good.
Yes! That is Justine Brooke Murray, who was on stage in her interview for Miss New Jersey in the Miss America pageant. And that's right. She says she wouldn't change a single word on her Twitter account. And that is the comments that they're probably sitting there. Aren't you supposed to just ask for world peace and that's it and move? No. And she had a lot to say about that. It was pretty awesome.
Number 3.
Today we saw temperatures above normal again, topping out at 85 degrees at Metro Airport. Plenty of sunshine today, but all good things must come to an end, and that starts as early as tomorrow morning with showers moving in around 8 a.m. And speaking of a brand new week, I will be sitting down this week with Project Veritas to discuss the discrimination that CBS is enforcing upon its employees. Tune in to Project Veritas for my full story. Now, later Monday, we will see those showers continuing through late morning.
It's happened again. It's another reporter from one of these local networks there. That one in Detroit. It's saying, we got some problems here going on, and we're going to open it all up to Project Veritas. That's like the second one in a week. that has done this on the air live while they're and obviously she by the way, in case you're wondering, yeah, she doesn't have a job right now, but boy, they are getting bold. Local reporters who have had enough, who have a lot to say, and they are getting bold, aren't they?
Number 2. On this vote, the yeas are 50, the nays are 50. 3/5 of the senators duly chosen and sworn not having voted in the affirmative. The motion is not agreed to.
Oh, and with those sad words from the Vice President of the United States yesterday, that is it, a 50-50 vote, which means Republicans have filibustered the Democrats' Voting Rights Bill, the For the People Act, that, of course, everybody is going after Republicans and saying, oh, the racist Republicans, and they're trying to hold back people from you know how the language goes, and keep it up, even though we'll talk about the details of that coming up, but, oh, boy, are they're just seething right now.
Number 1.
Where we have stories of Floridians who fled from communist regimes, from Cuba, from Nicaragua, from Venezuela, and beyond. And so this will show the effect that these bad policies had on people's freedoms and livelihoods and their families. Many of them in South Florida, for example, lost family members to communism. I think it's important that that we get this in the classroom and provide an honest assessment of what this totalitarian ideology has done for the last 100+ years.
You better believe it. And on Laura Ingram's show last night, there's the Governor Ron DeSantis signing a law requiring students to learn the evils of communism, and real patriots, we need to learn about them who escaped it as well.
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Oh, talk about seething, and you got the left in this. And I'll tell you what, there are some people locally who are seething about the fact that the governor was here in Fort Myers and talking about this, and we don't like the fact that he was here, and how dare he talk about this, and boosting civics education in the public school system, and how dare he talk about this, and the evils of communism, and laying it all out and having kids understand. And the real patriots, those that had to leave places like Venezuela and Cuba and all of these regimes to get away from communism and what it was like, and the hundreds of millions of people who died over the years due to communism, and speaking to this directly. And why do you have a problem with that? What? The same people who want us to teach critical race theory in schools and think it's us, we don't want slavery being taught, but that's not what it is. It's those that want to push a Marxist ideology. But we can't talk about the truth of the evils of communism. No, we don't want to do that in schools. And so good for the governor. And once again, having the left in this country giving him another reason, apparently, to dislike the governor, and more reason for people to stand up and cheer and see exactly what's going on here in the state, and recognizing the things that the governor doesn't mind getting out in front of and doing. And like I said, people in the state are just, they're upset about this. They are seething. Speaking of seething, it seems like all the progressives are seething about the filibustering of and blocking of this For the People Act, a For the People Act that would do things unconstitutionally and mandates against states, and making it all about the federal government, seizing the authority of states to regulate voter registration, the voting process, forcing states to implement early voting, automatic voter registration, same-day registration, banning photo identification, all of these different things, banning a voter ID, an issue that is, let's just say, extremely popular. Byron York, the Washington Examiner, explaining the numbers specifically. Among Republicans, 91% support photo ID, for example. Independents, 87%. Democrats, 62%. Along racial lines, 77% of white voters support photo ID. 84% of non-white voters support it. Along educational lines, 69% of Americans with a 4-year college degree favor ID. 85% of those with no degree favor it. I could go on with the numbers that are extraordinary. But yet you have a media that wants to convince you that it's the opposite. How does that happen? How is it that we bequeathed upon the media, whether it's local, state, or national in this country, to tell us what is and isn't? And And there are people that lap it up and go to the media and say, well, if they said it, then it must be that's it. When they don't speak for the majority of Americans. They just don't. So, yeah, they're seething. They're upset. Didn't Chuck Schumer have something to say about, right? Didn't the vice president go to Chuck Schumer after the vote, right?
Madam President.
Mr. Majority Leader.
Madam President.
I don't really care. Who cares, right? Who cares what Chuck Schumer has to say? Right? I mean, seriously.
Bowl of doggy do.
Sorry, maybe Nancy Pelosi. Well, anyway. All right, 239-479-5592. A couple of other stories that we're keeping an eye on here, and maybe we'll dig in more tomorrow on some of these stories. White House admitting that they're not going to get to 70% of vaccinations by July 4th. More and more stories are starting to pop up about this Delta variant and how it could, maybe, might be awful, catastrophic. We got to do something about it. And there's a lot of maybes and mights, and along the lines of the issues with vaccinations and COVID. And, we can go through all the stories of whether or not we've had all the right numbers and information when we hear about the number of people who have died from COVID or with COVID. Just the fact that we have those questions is bad enough. Just the fact that we have questions about Dr. Fauci and the connections to EcoHealth and the money that was given to EcoHealth from the federal government that went to, that was given from Dr. Fauci's NIAID and sent to the Wuhan lab, and a lot of questions. So maybe tomorrow we'll have an opportunity to dig into some of those questions. Oh, what else? What else did we want to get into today? I got to see if I can find this piece of audio. Oh, yeah, I know. I saw this. Jake wanted me to talk about it, but I know there was a, let me see if I can find the article now again. The top 20 most patriotic states in 2021. And Florida's not in the top 20. That's why I don't even want to talk about it. How could you say that Florida is not in the top 20 of most patriotic states? Texas is at number 41. That's why I'm not even going to talk about it, because that's a joke. Right? You don't even have Texas in the top 20, in the top 30, in the top 40. Texas. Florida's not in the top 20. I don't know where Florida is. I don't care.
So what's number one, California?
No, it's definitely not California. I'll put it this way. New York is last. Montana's first, followed by Alaska, Maryland, Vermont, and New Hampshire. And the rest, yeah. So we can talk about that. Oh, gosh. No, I'm going to skip that story. Yeah, I'm definitely going to skip that story. Hey, by the way, speaking of identification IDs, this is kind of a creepy story. We should probably have Rich Kolko on tomorrow to talk about this more, safety and security expert from Week News. Fake documents help a man become a fake Floridian with a real driver's license in Southwest Florida. Not the first time that this has happened at the DMV. Omaid Sultani, arrested after investigators say he tried to get 2 Florida IDs at the DMV in Naples, North Naples. Among others, accused of using addresses in Collier County to establish Florida residency. They arrested 3 people in April for using fake addresses and documents to get licenses. Safety specialists say that it could cause a red flag. You think so? Rich Kolko, we'll have him on to talk about this, but according to the arrest report, in December of 2020, we're just finding out about this now. So Tony got a license at the DMV on Orange Blossom. Then he showed insurance and bank documents with an address in a community in Naples to prove residency. 5 months later, he's caught getting another license. That's what they learned about it. And he says that this is what Rich Kolko was talking about, how This has got to be a concern of people even here in Southwest Florida about these fake licenses. At the end of the day, like he said, what happened back in 2001 when a lot of the terrorists attacked the U.S. at 9/11, it did exactly the same thing. Yeah, there's a... Oh, okay. There's a lot to talk about with this story. Maybe tomorrow we'll get into more detail, but certainly when it comes to the idea of identification and showing your identification and things like driver's licenses and voting, we should do the common sense responsible things, right? And the suggestion that giving somebody or having somebody show their photo ID somehow to suggest that there are certain individuals, communities that can't come up with a photo ID, like it's impossible for them to do it. Is that a problem, you saying that and suggesting that? I might suggest that. All right, let's go. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. We appreciate you watching the program, drewsteele.com. You can go to the website, and anytime you want to check out today's program and the day's program, it's always up there, so you can watch at your leisure or leisure. I don't know, is it leisure or leisure? Have we figured that out yet? Is it leisure or leisure?
Leisure.
I can't take your word for it.
Tomato, tomato.
Yeah. You're the guy that air fries peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I'm sorry, Uncrustables. I have to be precise about the air frying. You realize, my son's listening right now, you realize when I go, I'm going to have to bring a Uncrustable home. We're going to have to try this.
It's great.
Yeah. All right, let's find out how the remainder of the forecast is shaping up with Wink News meteorologist Casey Sherman.
Look for a better chance for thunderstorms today as we head into particularly the afternoon. Highs back to near 90.